Okay, we are ready to go. I'm linking in chat just the background music. It's the one we've always been using. I kind of like it.
Yep, it's awesome. I'm going to start with a different one this time, though.
Okay, so just some housekeeping stuff before we start. I created a notes page for you guys, so if you click on the notes button on the right, you'll see two files, characters and places. That's everyone that you saw last game and the places that you've been, that you know about, that you encountered. After today, I basically, this is your guys' to use as you see fit. If you come across an NPC that you should know and you don't really know their name, that, we'll see how that plays out. But you probably should be keeping notes, so maybe you designate one person to be the note taker. But that's all on you guys.
Okay, who wants to take notes?
Don't everyone jump at once.
Honestly, I was like, I would do it, but even at my work, I'm known to take the worst freaking notes known to mankind.
I can do it if just basic notes, like just characters.
Yeah, just so you remember people's names and that kind of stuff. But it's up to you guys. Okay.
Can you unlock it so people... Oh, we have to add our own notes. I got you.
It should be unlocked. Can't you edit it?
No, you're going to have to unlock it.
It's weird, I have it
They're
unlocked.
both locked.
No, I have them unlocked on my screen, but...
Yeah, they're read-only for us. I think if GM makes notes, it won't allow us to edit them.
Bummer. Okay, well, however you guys want to do it. Maybe your own private notes and you can share it with everyone else.
You just click public and you can see it. Everybody can see it.
Yeah. Okay. So just another question, just to get us warmed up. This is for you guys as players. Just out of curiosity, what's your favorite part of a Dungeons and Dragons game? Is it the role playing? Is it the combat? Is it exploring? Is it power gaming? Is it puzzle solving? What's your favorite part, if you had to pick one?
If I had to pick one, it would be the role-playing.
Okay.
Honestly, I think my favorite thing is just character progression throughout things, like the multiple games.
Okay, cool. Role-playing and exploring for Euphemia. Okay.
Combat and progression.
What? What progression?
Combat and progression.
Okay.
Character progression. Is my mic sounding okay?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Yeah. Well, if we can pick two, mine is role-playing and combat.
Gotcha. Good. Good. So, just a recap. Previously, in the GodBreaking, you guys were a company of legendary heroes that united one final time to stop an immense invading horde. And through careful strategy and great courage on the battlefield, your party of heroes overcame the odds and won a chance to strike at the heart of the horde's leadership. What you found out, though, was that there was an evil more powerful than you could have imagined lurking and empowering this invading army. It was Asmodeus, the king of hell itself. He had manipulated the armies of these evil creatures, or these foreign creatures, and used them to strike at the heart of the sun god, Pelor, at the heart of his power. He and his for lack of a better word, his 4 horsemen, or his 4 generals, accomplished their task and killed your friend, King Calum. And with Calum's death, the gateways to heaven opened, as the entirety of hell and the abyss unleashed a vicious onslaught against the gods. The God-breaking had begun, and you, our party of heroes, were slain. Just a quick role-playing exercise. I want you guys to answer this question as your characters. So, thinking in your character's shoes, What does your character regret or despair losing the most after having gone through all of that? What's your character going to miss the most?
I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
I deeply miss the loss of the elves that fought for my cause and didn't end up winning. I feel like their lives were kind of given in vain.
Gotcha.
Is this our biggest regret?
Yeah.
Or what we
Yeah.
lost?
Either or. Just your characters are dead. If you could think for yourselves, just what do you regret? Or what do you regret losing?
Caern regrets most sacrificing everything for his cause and not being strong enough in the end to stop what happened.
Okay. Chef?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was waiting for Euphemia. I say Deimos is probably most regretful of not actually better planning out or figuring out, like, there was that big time of peace and of like what all these evil creatures had in store, and when it actually came down to it, he lost and kind of his god had to come down, and it's kind of not what the clerics do. They're supposed to take care of that type of stuff before, so their guys or patrons, or they don't have to do anything.
That makes sense. Okay. How about you, Euphemia? Euphemia, you there? Is your mic
The
working?
biggest thing that we regret, yeah. The biggest thing we regret.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think she would be more, say, regretful of leaving home, because that's where she serves her goddess. Not running out in the middle and dying to some demon bastard.
Gotcha. Okay. Darkness. Then a flash of light. Then more darkness. And Euphemia, you hear a voice, a crystal clear voice. Awaken, quickly. Time is short. The voice pulls you out of the muck of the afterlife, and you feel yourself rising up out of the darkness. You blink your eyes open, and at first, what is just a big fuzz of light eventually focuses and crystallizes, and you see the picture of a visage. Looking around, you see that there are bodies on the ground around you. 6 of them. They are arranged head to foot, forming a circle. Deimos, Caern, Ashok, Ajax, and Obeard, you all simultaneously come into the light and experience the same thing. You all are arranged in a circle, head to foot, in the ground, underneath a beam of moonlight. And before you, in the center of the circle, stands this beautiful silvery woman. Rise, heroes, for the task before you is great. She's a full 9 feet tall, standing in the center of you, and the image of a translucent bastard sword can be seen orbiting around her. You feel strong enough to be able to pick yourself up off the ground, to look around, and to speak.
What has happened? Where are we?
We are with my goddess, Elistraee. And Euphemia bows down.
She says to you, I am known by many names. The Dark Maiden, the Lady of the Dance, Lady Silverhair, or by those most devoted to me, Elistraee. 'Twas very difficult, but at great personal cost I have brought you back from the realm of death. Were it not for you, my daughter," she looks at you, Euphemia, "I may not have been able to find you all in the hellish darkness of the underworld." You look down, and you see that you are all just wearing a plain, knee-length white robe. You're barefoot, you have nothing else on you. More shockingly, perhaps, is that looking around, you don't recognize each other's faces. And looking down at your hands and your feet, you don't even recognize them as your own.
What has happened? Well, this is not my body. These are not my friends.
I apologize for any confusion. However, much time has passed since your deaths. Your bodies, what was left of them, are long gone, far beyond my power to retrieve. I have acquired these bodies that you now find. I tried to pair you with the closest match to your originals that I could acquire. However, nothing is perfect. It was all I could do to wring your souls from the underworld and place them here. You will experience some struggle, some dissonance, to use a musical term. For memories and bodies do not pair so easily. Your souls will take some time to readjust to these bodies that you are in. In time, though, I hope that you will be fully acclimated. You guys,
Caern,
go on.
Caern kind of touches his face and feels around for a minute and just falls silent. This is just completely out of his realm of expertise or knowledge.
I ask what happened to my god that I was serving. I forgot his name.
Tyr.
Ool here. Oh, is it Tyr?
Yeah, Tyr. He was the god of justice. Okay. Yeah, looking around, you guys look at each other's bodies, and the bodies you've been given, she paired up the races, so you guys are humans. Euphemia, you are a drow. But you're all much younger than your old bodies were. Because your older bodies had a lifetime of adventures behind them. You find yourselves in young adults again. Euphemia, or Elistraee turns to you, Deimos, and she, hearing your question, she starts to speak. Ever since that day on the battlefield, we have been under siege. Our initial losses were catastrophic. Legions of angels and whole portfolios of gods fell to tooth and claw. But we rallied, and we struck back with infinite vengeance. The forces of darkness buckled under our divine might, and we retook some of the ground we had lost. Now we fight a war of attrition. But their numbers are endless, and they have a foothold in Elysium. Even now, demon hordes are pouring into the heavens. We are losing this war. I know not the specifics of who has fallen and who is still alive. Some gods are in hiding. Some gods are separated by great distances from where I currently am. Surely one as powerful as Tyr, he may still be alive, but even greater gods have fallen. Pelor himself was one of the first to fall. I am but a minor goddess. My vision of these things is limited. This is all I know.
hear nothing but minor.
As she's standing before you, she looks off for a second, as if distracted. A concerned look flashes across her face, and her visage flickers. And then it reforms, and she gives you her attention back. She says, "Time is short. What would you have of me? I cannot sustain this form for long."
What are we to do?
Ah. The material plane. This realm that we are on right now. It is the gateway between light and darkness. In order to cross over into Elysium, the devils and fiends needed to break the barriers that we had established. For the past 100 years, Asmodeus has been assaulting our guardians in every corner of the globe. Pelor's scion, King Calum of Erelin, was our last guardian. When he fell, the heavens became vulnerable. She glances off again, and her form flickers, this time a little bit more intensely. You see a worried look flash across her face. She shakes her head and her attention comes back to you. "My charge for you is this. Retake this world from the devils. Close the portals to the heavens. If Asmodeus' hold on this plane can be broken, we may be able to close the gateway between heaven and hell and cease the onslaught of demons. It is a desperate plan, but it is a small hope at least. I have little that I can offer you. It took the greater part of my strength to bring you back to the land of the living. But I can give you this." If you guys look in your inventory, I'll divvy it up right now.
Just a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Is there any background noise or anything like that?
Nope.
No, you sound great.
Did I have any background noise?
No.
Everybody sounds good to me.
Yeah, everyone sounds good. Suddenly, around each one of your necks, a silver amulet appears. It's shaped like a crescent moon overlapped with a bastard sword. There's a faint silvery glow to it, and then it fades. She turns to all of you and says, "One time, and one time only. Touch the amulet and call my name. I will know where you are, and I will aid in whatever way I can. I'm afraid that is all I can offer. Everything else rests on your strength."
Elistraee, how much time has passed?
In mortal years? You can see her suddenly get distracted and look off in the distance, very concerned. She says, 3 of your years, I must depart. Farewell, heroes. May fate shine fairly upon us all." And as she looks back off into the distance, you can see the bastard sword flicker and cling to her hand. She acquires a fighting stance and stares off into the distance, and you can see her steel herself and then charge off. The avatar that you're seeing disappears.
We failed the king and this whole world at our strength. How are we ever going to help now?
By doing as we God's wish. We must start over. We must gain power and all that we can and destroy these fiends.
I'm just saying, to find the same playing field as all these gods and demons, we gotta get the power of gods ourselves.
Where do we even start?
We've done it
Jim.
once. We can do it again.
First, we have to find out where we are and get some damn clothes. I don't want to wear this robe. I feel so strange in this body.
I agree.
Okay, right now it's the middle of the night. There's a bright full moon overhead, but it's deep into the night. You can't tell necessarily what time it is, but you know that daylight is hours away.
Are we inside or outside?
You're
or...
outdoors. You're at the top of a crest on a hill. There are trees, sparse trees around you. The ground is a mix of stone and some patches of moss. You can tell that your elevation is pretty high. That you can tell.
As we look out, can we see a glow from maybe a village or a town or lights?
There are trees obscuring your view in most directions.
Does
I'm
my
gonna
night
climb to the
vision
top
help
of the
me
tree.
any?
The trees are blocking you. You see clear. All you see is trees more clearly than the rest of them can.
I'm gonna climb to the top of one of the trees.
Okay. So you take a couple minutes to do that. You head off. You find one particularly tall tree that seems to poke up above the rest of the tree line, and you start scaling it. As you're climbing up, you find yourself tiring a little bit more easily than you think you would have before. This body is not quite as powerful as the one you used to inhabit. It takes you a little while, about 10 minutes, to navigate the branches, and cresting over the top of the tree line, you can see a glow, a faint glow down the hillside. You can tell that you're not really on a mountain, but a set of large hills. But down in the valley ahead of you, you can see something at least.
Alright, well, I carefully climb back down and catch my breath and relay what I saw.
Do we all feel like we're tired from not getting any rest, or do we just feel weaker because of our bodies?
You guys take a few minutes to just walk around and explore, just kind of get used to your bodies, flexing a little bit, taking a few steps, and all of you are weaker. Ashok,
Sure.
I'm going to start sharing some notes with you guys. And these are things that you're realizing as you kind of play around and get used to this new form that you have.
So we lost our skills.
You've all lost different things. So for you, Ashok, your body is fat. It's out of shape. It has no chance of being stealthy, and is definitely not proficient in athletics.
But if I work at this game and keep at it, I can gain an additional six attributes, 3 strength and 3 dex.
Over what you currently have right now, yes. If you look at your character sheet and look at your statistics, you'll see that they're not what they used to be.
Oh, I see. You already subtracted them from what we created. Okay.
So you saw some lights in the distance?
Yep. They're straight ahead
Well,
of
let's
us.
head
They
that
seem like
way.
they're in the valley.
Well, let's get going. I don't want to stand out here all night.
Okay. There's a little bit of a breeze, a brisk breeze, and it, for all of you, it kind of rides up your robes, and you guys feel a sharp chill. So maybe you should get moving. Does anyone have
I
questions about the quests that I shared with you?
No.
No.
Okay. You guys are gonna have to figure out a way to get back into shape. And I'm open to any ideas that you might have. There's definitely ways that we can do it. but that's up to you. A lot of it is up to you.
Well, I'm definitely going to
All right,
be asking some questions when we get to this town.
Okay.
Would I have the knowledge, like let's say I find like a town or a city or something to where I kind of knew where it was in the past? Would I kind of know where like all the other major deities or all these temples and stuff would be?
What you guys know, right now your memories are fuzzy. Basically, as your souls have been forced into these new bodies, your memories are flittering in and out, and you don't remember much. Basically, what you know, you remember the final battle. Everything that we played out in the last campaign, you remember that sharply. You guys have full recollection of that. The details before that get more and more faint. So it'll require some knowledge checks and things like that. But there's a potential that you can recall that information. However, you don't even know where you guys are right now. So you might not have known that information to begin with.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, it said that to this town that Deimos is seeing.
I just saw a light. I don't know
Oh,
what
the
it
light.
is.
To you, they look like they were. It was the glow hovering over, some fire, some campfires, and maybe perhaps a small town. That's all it looked like to you.
Alright, well, I say while we get closer to this light, we kind of, I guess you say sneak up. I don't really know what's there. Especially coming back into these new bodies, I don't think we're going to get another body if we die.
Yes. I agree. Caution is our friend at the moment.
Okay. Deimos, you at least were able to tell that it was some ways away. It would take you about half a day to travel down from the higher hilltop that you're on, down to this valley.
Okay. Is it, you said it was like cold and stuff out, or
Well, it's
just a normal day?
it's a normal night, but the altitude is a little bit higher, and there is a breeze, so it's cool, but not fatal or anything like that.
Okay. Well, on the way down, do we see anything, notice anything, like in particular? I'm assuming also while we're getting closer and closer, every now and then I'll climb back up some trees just to scout out the surrounding area.
Okay. You're walking down. There's really no path. There's just rocky. Some of the terrain is particularly rocky. You hear the occasional animal moving in the woods around you. But it's nighttime, so most animals are dormant. You see the occasional night owl eyeing you from a treetop, from a tree branch. The skitter of a small rodent or something in the forest brush. But nothing particularly. Right now, I'll have you all roll me just roll me nature, a nature check. A survival check is what it would be. Yeah.
Survival?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, survival.
Survival? What? Which one?
Survival. Just roll me survival. I know they're different. I screwed that up. Okay. As you guys are walking, Euphemia, you don't see a rock underneath one of the underneath some forest brush, and you step on it, and in your bare feet, it hurts. You cut your foot. It's not a deep cut or anything like that, but there is a gash in one of your feet, and it's bleeding a little bit.
God damn it! I actually say that in character.
Just one for.
She screams out in pain.
Yeah.
A lot of curse words.
Your the silver amulet on your chest, Euphemia, it glows a little bit, and then it comes back down. Almost as if Elistraee heard you and didn't like your choice of words. What did you say, Deimos?
Oh, I was saying, for those cantrips.
Yeah.
Those are unlimited, right?
Yes. You basically you can learn 3 cantrips, and in the morning. So the way priests work is once per day you have to spend some time praying, and you get some spells from your god. That's how priests work. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
you
was
get to
just
choose
making
those
sure I
spells.
could cast the cantrips as many times as I wanted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we're walking through this forest, after I saw Euphemia, the one with the best vision in the night, trip over a rock, I start casting resistance. Isn't everybody just going around poking them? Just to give them those plus D4s on their rolls.
Okay. Okay. A few hours go by, and you see over the well, I guess you assume it's the east. The light, the brightness of the sun, starts to filter its way into the horizon as dawn starts approaching.
Caern is going to kind of close his eyes and take in the warmth of the sun for a few moments. Feeling like it's been ages since he's felt its caress.
Okay.
Are you done? Can we get going, please?
You're still a drow, so you don't like the sun, I guess. Okay. A little bit more time goes by, and you start nearing on to this settlement. Through the tree line, you're catching glimpses of it. It's a small town. Very small. Just a handful of buildings, maybe 7 or 8 buildings. None of them look particularly super well built. There is a large windmill at the edge of town. And it looks something like this.
Wow.
Approaching it, you from far away, you guys are being a little bit stealthy in the woods, and you're still behind the tree line. You see a few people moving around, some little children running back and forth, some ladies. It looks like they're doing domestic type stuff, cleaning up some clothing, doing a little bit of laundry. You smell a little bit of cooking.
Alright, well, I'm just going to walk out of that tree brush and just kind of down the road looking for possibly a mayor or someone of some importance here who might know of what's going on around.
Yeah. As silly as I look, I'm going to follow him in this white robe.
Okay. Are you all going with him? Or just the two of you?
Yeah. I'll go with.
Okay. Euphemia, you're staying in the tree line?
No, I'm following.
Alright. As you guys approach this village, a couple of the children look at you, and their eyes grow big, and they kind of like scamper off, yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy!" You see a lot of children, a handful of children, women that look like they're to be their mothers, some younger, some older. You see one kind of like hunched over old man walking around with a cane. He looks at you, and he just keeps on walking along. You're getting some odd looks. You guys, granted, you all look pretty strange. Some of the kids are staring, and their mothers are shushing them and telling them to not stare at the strangers.
Alright, well, is there any large building that maybe their town hall or something like that?
Down this pathway, you see a bunch of various, pretty crude dwelling places on the left and on the right. And down at the end of the pathway, you see the windmill. And attached to the windmill, there seems to be a larger building, a larger facility there.
So no one seems approachable. They're all kind of running away from us.
Well, they're kind of just staring at you, and whispering, and some of the kids are running away, and the moms a few of the moms pop inside, and pull their kids inside and shut the door. As you're walking, you guys walk down halfway through the village, and from around the corner, a little girl. Just a normal little girl. You guess she's about 5 or 6 years old. Comes charging out right across the path, cutting you off, and she kind of stumbles a bit, and she bumps right into you, Deimos.
Well, I'm gonna catch her before she hits the ground.
Okay.
I say, "Tyr, protect you."
She looks up at you. She has a big look. Her eyes are wide. She's cute. She's got a lot of freckles, reddish brown hair, and she smiles and she giggles a little bit. She says, "Oh, I'm sorry, mister. Didn't mean to get in your way. Where did that stupid cat go? Where is he? Truffles! Truffles! Have you seen my cat?"
Young lady, I have not seen your cat. But what does your cat look like? I love fluffy things.
Oh, darn it! Darn it, that stupid cat. He's such a dum-dum. He's white with black spots. Please help me find my cat. He's around here somewhere.
Alright, I turn around to the rest of the party. I say, hey guys, I don't know what you guys want to do, but you know me. I'm a sucker for anything fluffy with multiple legs. I'm gonna go help try to find this damn cat.
Alright. I can try to help you track it.
Alright, where was the last place you saw this cat?
She points kind of in 3 different directions. He likes to go over there, but I saw him this morning over here, and yeah, I don't know. And she kind of grabs your finger and starts pulling you off in a direction off to the side, away from the pathway.
I scratch the top of my head. Is this really something we should be worrying about?
One
That's not a
second.
problem to deal with.
I can't tell a damn thing. I'm gonna go with her.
I'm going to just...
Alright.
Can I do an insight check on the little girl?
Sure. Roll insight.
No, it's not love her.
Oh, I need
I'm
to
going
help out with
to.
that.
This is an adorable, very sweet-hearted, and earnest and honest young girl.
I have to help her find her
I'm just
cat.
saying, the apocalypse
going.
can wait. We gotta save this damn fluffy spotted cat.
Yep, I'm immediately going to start tracking the cat.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to find something tall to get on top to start looking for this cat.
Wow.
These rolls are nuts, guys.
RN Jesus has not blessed me today.
As you guys are walking, you're following around with her. You're using your expertise to kind of like snoop around, and you're both Caern and Ashok. You're looking in the dirt, looking for cat prints, and honestly, you all look pretty ridiculous.
Wait, who has the best search look? I'm gonna give you a plus D4. We're gonna find this damn cat.
Well, Ashok rolled a 19, so he's really keening, like on top of it. All right, so he's a
I know
21.
my cats.
Yeah, I mean you're a little bit chubby, and your character's not really super proficient, but the knowledge that you have brought over, you can recognize some tracks when you see them. But as you guys are walking along, it's the girl. She's almost forgotten about the cat. She's just kind of skipping along, holding on to your finger, Deimos, and she says, "My name's Lily Creason. I am 6. Who are you?"
Do I remember my name?
Yeah, of course.
I'll be like, hi, my name is Deimos. I believe I'm in my 60s now. I don't actually know.
60s? You don't look like you're dying.
Well, you know, the great power of Tyr, the almighty justice protector, he takes care of you. And I flex.
Plus, you haven't seen him after he's had a drink. He gets really ugly.
As you guys are walking along, she just kind of skips, and she's asking you questions, and she's telling you about the town. Is there anything you want to ask her?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask her where we're at. Or like what major cities would be by here.
Cities? I've never been to a city. This is our mill. It's our lumber mill. The Olids own it. Mr. James Olid. This is my mama calls it Olid's Mill. We've been here ever since I can remember. But my mama, she's sad so often. Ever since my daddy left, I haven't had any friends. And as she's talking, you hear, kind of off in the background, Lily! Lily!
We should probably get her back to her mother.
Yeah, I kind of start leading her back to her mom while keeping my eye out for that fluffy, adorable cat.
Okay. She kind of bounces along, and she says, "Oh, "Oh, that's my mommy. That's my mommy." And she says, "She's not going to be happy that I was talking to you." And as she says that, her mom comes from around the corner. Her mother is a young lady, looking like the mother of a young girl. She has a little bit of a weary look to her eyes and concern. She sees Lily, then her eyes flicker up, and she sees all of you, and you can see just distrust in her eyes. She says, "Lily, Vanessa, Creason, you get over here right now." Lily kind of scampers over to her, and she says, "What did I tell you about talking to strangers?" And she says, "But Mommy, they were such nice people." And she says, "Shush, shush, Lily." And she covers her mouth, and she kind of like hurries her along, and they leave.
Okay.
So the important question is, did we find the cat yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Caern is going to go try to find someone to talk to that will actually talk back to him without running away.
Okay. You guys are off
An
down
inn or anything?
an inn. All the buildings kind of look pretty ramshackle. You might have to ask around. $18. As you guys are walking around, you're not seeing anything yet, but you can tell that there hasn't been a cat in this area for recently.
I swear we better find this cat, or I'm gonna turn this entire RPG. I don't care how many sessions it is to find a damn cat.
Okay, you guys are rolling well. Caern.
I'm trying to find somebody to talk to.
Okay. You can tell that there's a set of eyes on you. From around the corner of one of the buildings, you see an old lady. She's not really trying to be stealthy, more just a little bit nosy. She just pops her head out, and she's watching you.
I politely walk over to her. I say, "Hello, young lady. We're new
I
to this
found
area.
her.
We're
I'm going to
lost."
talk to her.
He says, young lady? Oh my! Aren't you quite the charmer?" She kind of smiles and blushes a little bit and like flicks her hand at you. "Oh, I have been called young since 20 years. Tell me, what's a pack of youngsters like you doing in our little old hamlet?"
Well, we're trying to figure that out ourselves. We're just trying to figure out where we are. We got a little bit of a mix-up, and now we have no idea where we're at.
"Yeah? Well, I think you've run into the right person. I doubt you'll find anyone in this town who's willing to talk to y'all much. Except me, of course. My name's Shavala. Shavala Shem. I've been here for 35 years, going on 36. You have found your way into Olid's mill."
And what is the closest city to Olid's mill, Miss Shavala?
City? You aren't from around here, are you?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
City? There's only one city in these here parts. In this whole country, there's only one city. That's the city of Westveen, the capital of our great little country.
Okay. And
Are there
what
any
country
little
are we
shops in this
in?
little place?
What would you say?
I was asking her if there are any shops or inns or something in this little town.
Oh, no, there's no... This is not a town proper. All business goes through the Olid family. And she kind of thumbs a crooked finger over in the direction of the windmill. She says, "But they might not be in the mood to be helping a party such as yourselves. And as far as your question," she points to you, Caern, "this is the country of Hasselin. We're a peaceful country. Hasselin."
Are we still on the continent of Tendish?
"Yeah, yes you are. Of course Hasselin is in the very southern part of Tandesh. We kind of keep to ourselves. Not much goes on around here."
And what did you say? The West Fiend?
Westveen, the capital is called West Vane.
West Vane, okay.
It's quite a journey away from here. You'll be traveling for quite a while to get there. We're about pretty much as far away from West Vane as you can get and still be inside the country.
Oh,
How about a
Lord.
little town or something with more shops than this place?
Oh, a town. Yes, you'd be looking for Amberbrook.
Amberbrook.
And which way is that?
It's north of here. Oh, I'd say 3 days' journey, perhaps?
And one more question from me, but have you ever heard of a blood hunter?
Blood hunter? I'm sorry. Nothing exciting happens in these parts much. I've heard of bloodhounds.
Well, thank you for your time.
She says, "Tell me, what are you youngins planning to do around here?"
Well, right now, we need some clothes and maybe some work to earn some coin.
Well, I know pretty much everything about this town, and I will tell you that it might be hard to get anyone else to talk to you. You see, all the men's folks, they're out working right now. So all of us women around here, and to be honest, they're probably pretty scared. Things are tense in our town right now. The Olid family, those rotten boys, Radis and Vork. Hold on one second. Those rotten boys, Bradis and Vork Olid, man, they are not kind boys. I see them mistreating some of the women folk while the men are gone. Yeah, so, like I said, the ladies might not be so inclined to talk to you.
Oh, so the Olids are terrorizing your little town?
Well, they run everything. They have all the supplies, all the money, all the work. Pretty much everyone around here, they just work for the mill. So, sometimes power gets their head. And since old man Jameis, since he's kind of gave up control to his sons, stuff's kind of gone downhill these last few years, to be honest.
And where is old man Jameis now?
Oh, he's usually in his room, in his study. She thumbs towards the windmill again.
Do you think we should right or
Last time
wrong
you guys
over
had a
here?
bar around this area.
What?
I don't believe these people.
What did you say, young lady?
When was the last time you guys had a bard around this area?
You mean a singer? Wow, we have singers. We
Yeah.
sing every night. We have a party.
Well, I mean more like professional bard.
A professional singer? Oh, it's been 15 or 17 years, I remember. Oh, the day my first son, Wilson, he went... Oh, yes, that's right. On his name day, we had a professional singer. That was 18 years ago.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna ask if she knows if there's like any tannery or anything like that. Mainly it's a place to where we can get clothed up again.
Like I said, only supplies, they go through the Olid family. All the money, they go through the Olid family. All the work, through that same family. She's pointing towards the mill every time. You just watch yourselves. They
Alright.
can be a rough bunch of boys.
Saying they probably just haven't heard of the great and glorious power of Tyr. I think it's time to convert some people.
Do you really want to mess with these people? I mean, this is their livelihood. And if you mess up them, then this whole town will probably fall apart.
Well, I don't think it will fall apart. I think it's if they better themselves, then it will better the town. I think they just stray from the path of you'd say, good. Now they're kind of just selfish, where...
Yes, but you only know the surface. I mean, if you start messing with stuff, you could ruin everyone's life. You might be thinking you're doing good, but in the end,
She kind of looks at you all and says, she's got her arms crossed. She sees the two of you kind of talking to each other and says, "You know, it's been a long time since we've had any excitement in this town. If you all need anything, you come talk to me. Remember, Shavala. Shavala's my name."
Shelva, do you have any extra clothing or from maybe when your sons were younger, or maybe a weapon to defend ourselves when we leave this place?
She kind of eyes you up and down. Roll me a straight D20. 11 or higher is in your favor. 10 or lower is not. She kind of turns to you and says, "You know, you're about the size of my Wilson." Sure, come this way. She kind of beckons you on with her hand. And you guys, it takes all of 3 minutes to cross from one side of town to the other. She's talking your ear off the whole time, telling you about this house here and how the lady in there, she's got questionable habits at nighttime, and you can tell she's a little bit of a gossip. And she points to another one and says that those people are married, but she hears them fighting every night. And over here, this family of kids, she swears that of the 5 children in this one family, point to another house, she says 4 of them look like the father. There's one like blonde boy in the whole family of black-haired kids, and she starts laughing because she knows that she has an idea of who the dad of that kid might be. So she's just talking her ear off as she walks to her house. She points to you and says, "Welcome to my domain." It's this little ramshackle little hut. She opens it up. "Ever since my husband kicked the bucket a few years ago, I've been left all to myself. Don't really have much anyone around here these parts anymore, so I'd welcome some company." She invites you inside.
We are very grateful for your hospitality, Miss Shavilla.
She invites you inside, and you see a small living room / dining room area. This hut is basically 2 rooms. There's a bedroom, and then there's the other room. She welcomes you into the main room and says, "Hold on here a second." And she goes off into the bedroom. It's just a piece of sheepskin that's hung across it, kind of like as a door, as a curtain. She walks through it. You can hear her opening up some boxes and flipping things over and stuff. And she comes out, and she's carrying 2 pairs of slacks, two pairs of brown, kind of cloth pants, and 2 vests, and a couple white shirts. "This is all I have for my son." She looks at them and says, "They might fit some of you folk."
Well, thank you very much.
Exactly how are you planning to pay for these things, might I ask?
Well, unfortunately, we have nothing between us, but I will give you my word that I'll repay you as soon as I can.
She's thinking.
Do you want us to deal with those kids that you were talking about? Maybe we can set this village the way you would rather have it. Who knows?
Are you talking about the men who are kind of being a terror?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't particularly want trouble, but things have been kind of stressful around here of late. I'll tell you what. If I can trust you, and if you'll do some good work around here, maybe talk to the Olids and get him to lighten up on some of the women folk. Some of us are downright scared of him, and I know some of the young ladies. That son Vork of his, the youngest one, he's pretty crude. And he can be pretty mean, forcing himself on the ladies sometimes. I'll tell you what. clothes are yours. If you can just do some kind deeds around here. And she tosses them over to you.
Thank you.
You wouldn't be able to find me a dress, would you?
She looks at you and she kind of chuckles. You're kind of tall and athletic and definitely thin, and she's sort of short and round, a good foot shorter than you. She kind of chuckles. I think you maybe bark up the wrong tree here. I have some friends who might fit you, who have clothes that might fit you, but I'll have to do some asking.
Please, it's not the best way to look walking around this house like this. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, we need to try to blend in as much as possible if we're gonna help.
Okay, she says, let me do some asking. I got some friends around here. You guys make yourselves at home or do whatever you want. I'll go talking. She kind of moves out the door. She's light on her feet for someone who's as old as she is. And you can see her just turn around the corner, and you can hear her pounding on someone else's door. Marjorie! Marjorie, you in there? It's Shavla. Come talk to me.
Have I got time to look around this little place to see if there's a club or anything I could wield as a weapon?
Sure. Looking around, it's an old lady's house. You see some like the most prized possession and the most valuable thing there is a set of candlesticks. It's pretty poor. This is not a wealthy town. As far as anything that can serve for a weapon,
and just sit down in it.
yeah, there is one chair, a single chair, and it rattles a little bit underneath you, but it holds you. There's a very small table in one corner. This is a small room. It's on a lucky day, maybe 10 by 10, maybe even smaller.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'm not gonna tear this one's furniture apart since he was kind enough to give me some clothes. So.
Okay. You get two sets of clothing. And they're men's clothing, so two of you guys can wear it.
Alright.
I'm sure you guys could find some sticks outside used to.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn Euphamia up in TeamSpeak so I can hear it a little better.
Yeah, same here. You're finding Euphemia. I'll just crank your volume up a little bit.
Sorry, I had to turn my boost off on my volume or everything just drowns out into a big hum.
We're good. We can.
Gotcha. Now you're good.
We can handle it.
Alright, while all this is happening, I'm just going to be still searching around the town for the cat.
Okay.
Alright, well, I'm putting on the.
You did hear my
clothes.
thing about the whole sticks and stuff, right?
Yes. Okay, so...
Oh, that's them.
Oh.
Let's see. So I guess I'll be wearing some brown pants, a vest, and a shirt.
Yep. I kind of just add a set of common clothes to your inventory. Who else wants to wear it? Deimos or Ashok?
I'll wear it if it's available.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it.
I'm hoping for the dress or something else that's not,
Okay. So from you can hear from outside the room these doors, these huts. The walls are not very thick, so you hear the old lady knocking on the door, and finally it sounds like someone's opened it up, and she's just talking, and she kind of goes inside, and you can hear her just talking about all sorts of random stuff. You get the feeling that this might take a while. It's like she's got distracted.
We have to be careful around here, guys, though. We cannot hurt this family that's in charge, because most likely they are running this place with the purpose of having all of the contacts, and if they lose these contacts, this village could go down.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna kick one of them, trying to see if they like going.
Yes, I don't think that brute force is going to solve this situation.
Okay, Deimos,
We're
you're outside looking around. You got some good rolls there. Off on the tree line, you catch a glimpse of a streak of white up in a tree. It's about 100 feet away from you.
Is it like running, or is it like just stand still?
It's sitting in a tree, up in the trees.
All right. I'm gonna sprint there, like I'm being chased by an army. I'm just gonna go straight for that tree.
Okay. You rush over to the tree, and you see, as you get closer, you see the form of this black and white cat, partially obscured by the leaves, just has its eyes straight on you, locked right on you, just eyeing you curiously.
I try to pretend I'm a cat, and I do a terrible ass job.
It's just looking at you like you're the stupidest thing in the world.
I probably am if I'm trying to be a cat. Does it look like the cat's stuck in the tree?
No, it's just sitting up there. He's chilling out.
I'm gonna climb the tree.
Okay. So we're gonna go with dexterity for this.
Is it gonna be a save or just a straight dex?
Just a straight check, dexterity check. Oh, good. Yeah, you're able to make it up the tree, just barely. But you scale the tree, and you're doing your best to stay calm and quiet, no sharp movements. The cat's just eyeing you the whole time, looking at you curiously.
Alright. I'm gonna stay a little bit farther back from the cat, but I'm gonna hold my finger out, because cats love to smell fingers.
You hold your finger out, you stretch it out, and the cat just is looking at you. And after a full 30 seconds, it slowly rises up a little bit, and in a little bit of a hunch, pads its way forward along the branch, and it reaches out its nose, and to the tip of your finger, and starts sniffing. You feel a brief touch of its cold, wet nose.
Alright, so it's like right next to me?
It's right in front of you. Your arm is outstretched. It's at arm's length, basically. Its nose is touching your at your fingertip.
I slowly pull my finger back just little by little.
Okay.
I'm hoping that the cat follows.
Okay. And it does. It inches its way forward.
And then I slowly take my other arm, get it kind of close enough to where I can snatch at the cat and grab it.
Okay. So it sees you moving your left arm, and it kind of pauses for a second. And
I also pause.
Its eyes go back up to your eyes. It's just there staring at you.
I assure this cat that the almighty God Tyr will protect it.
Go ahead and roll animal handling again.
Alright, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have guidance on me for the +1.
Okay.
Tyr does not like cats.
The cat looks up at you and springs out of the branches off. It hits the ground and like in a blaze of white flash, it runs off into the woods.
God damn it.
Be happy you didn't lose an eye.
Son of a bitch.
I love those ones.
Okay, so Euphemia, you're looking in garbage cans. You're trying to not be suspicious.
That was a joke.
Okay.
That was a joke.
Ashok, do you have anything you want to do?
I'm not.
I'm looking around for like any type of like a garden tool or something like a wooden staff, something off of a garden tool or anything that I can find that I can use for defense.
Okay. You see. Okay, so this is a logging town. But there's a distinct absence of any axes or anything, which is odd. You assume that she said that the men were off working, that all the equipment went with them. So you're having a hard time finding anything like that right now.
Okay.
Is there a blacksmith in this logging town?
You don't see anything. You're looking at the houses. They all look like all the houses look fairly close to each other. They're just domestic living areas. The only building that's different is the large windmill that has a large building attached to it.
Okay, that's where I'm going.
The rest of you guys?
Yeah, it looks like we have to go to the windmill.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of that tree. I'm
I'm
pissed the
waiting for
fuck
the old
off
woman.
too, by the way.
Okay. You'll have to try again. You have to try to find the cat some other time, I guess.
Man, I swear, I don't even care. You can put the cat in random stuff. I will chase it around the world. I don't even care about this apocalypse thing. I'll get to level 20 just from killing things to get to the cat.
Well, the DC was pretty low for you to grab that cat, but a natural 1. Can't do much about that.
Nope, you can't.
Okay, as you guys are walking along,
Question.
Yes.
Am I still waiting for her?
oh no, she's in there chatting. You can hear her voice from outside the cabin. She's not stopping anytime soon.
I'm gonna tell you,
So everyone
Euphamia, I
just
think
talking?
you're gonna need to interrupt her if you're gonna want something to wear.
Or we can just loot their corpses and take their
Okay,
clothes.
so I go out and I look in on her, see what she's doing.
You see her sitting down with a cup of hot liquid or something like that, sitting at a table across from a younger lady, but according to younger in relationship to her. She's still probably in her 40s, upper 40s or something like that. And they're talking on and on about, you hear, it sounds like the crops and the weather from a different region of the country. And there's little snippets of seedy gossip. Yeah, she turns to you like, yes, young lady?
Did you have any luck?
She kind of looks at you with a curious look. Luck? Oh! The dress, the clothing. Marjorie, darling. This here is, Euphy. That's right, Euphy.
Euphemia.
Euphemia?
Euphemia.
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 Never mind.
Okay.
Never mind.
She's a musician. She finds herself on hard luck, and she's closer to your size than my size, and you see the poor girl. She's hardly wearing a thing. She plans to go talk to the old boys, and I'm afraid that won't go over well with wearing hardly anything the way she is. Marjorie kind of looks at you, and you can tell that the friendship is the conversations that they have is kind of a one-sided conversation, with Shavala doing all the talking and Marjorie not doing any talking at all. That's basically the nature of their relationship. She just looks at you, and she looks back at Shavala, and she whispers, Yes, you can trust her. She's a kind lady.
Did my elven hear
No, she's so timid that you couldn't even make it out. But she seems distrusting. She looks at you, and she gives a little shudder with her head, a shake back and forth. No. And Shavala turns to you and she says, Yeah, I kind of figured. I'm sorry, young lady. She doesn't know you at all. And clothing is kind of hard to come by here. We have to make it all ourselves.
Can I walk into the doorway behind Euphamia there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna look down at the timid little lady and say, Listen, this young woman has come on very rough times, and I assure you know what rough times are. And we are willing to help your town with the troubles you're in. But you've got to be willing to help yourselves too. Loaning her a bit of clothing is nothing in the grand scheme of things, and we promise on our honor that we will repay you or return the clothes. Now please, help her out.
Persuasion. Roll it.
I'm the worst for persuasion, but okay.
That was a good speech. I'll give you a low DC for that.
Okay. Here goes my -2 persuasion roll.
I swear to you, I was thinking 8 in my mind for the DC.
Nice.
Okay. She gets up. She looks at you. stares for a second, then she kind of shrugs her shoulders, and without a word, she gets up and she goes into the next room. Again, this is a 2-room kind of little shack that she's in. You hear some rustling around, and Euphemia, she comes out with an older. You can tell it's well worn, but it's definitely serviceable and a lot better than what you're currently wearing. Bluish patchwork dress.
I nod and I bow slightly. Thank you very much.
She smiles a half smile, and she nods, and she kind of hands it over to you. And she looks at Shavala and she shrugs, and Shavala says, "Yeah, she's a nice lady, she is. I hope you guys are good for your word, though."
We are, and we thank you. And I put my hand on this strange Euphemia that isn't the one I knew and say, "See, just have a little faith in humanity."
Okay.
I'm gonna raise my eyebrows slightly as I look at him, but then I'm gonna move to the other house and run the.
Okay, you go back to change. Ashok, you're still looking for some kind of weaponry or something like that, right?
I was correct.
Okay. Roll me investigation. Okay. You're looking at the tree line. You see a couple of fallen branches that, could be baseball bat sized.
I'll take it.
Okay. You go over there, and after a little bit of work stripping off some of the twigs and branches and stuff, you find yourself with a serviceable club. It's got a little bit of heft to it. It's not the most deadly instrument you have, and a part of it is a little bit rotted, so you're not sure how much of a sustained beating it'll stand up to. But you got yourself with a crude club. Okay, and if you're going to use it as a weapon, I'll add it to your action sheet.
If you just drop club in his inventory, I think it'll go to his action sheet.
Okay. What else do you guys want to do?
I want to ask him where he found that stick.
Well, there's trees and there's woods around. If you guys want to spend a little bit of time grabbing some clubs from the forest, it shouldn't be too hard.
Can I take a little closer look at the dress? Is it stained or dirty or anything like that? Does it have like a weird smell to it?
You can tell it's been worn quite a bit. So there's places where it was worn through or had developed holes in it. They've been patched. The coloration is a little bit different, but overall she's kept it as clean as she could. She seemed like the tidy type, so it seems to be in good condition, albeit well used.
I'm gonna cast prestidigitation. Yeah, I can't say this word. Damn it.
Prestidigitation.
Yes, I'm gonna cast that on the dress just to make sure it's extra clean.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put a symbol of Elistraee on the shoulder.
Okay. All right. It doesn't take you long to do that, and a little bit silver kind of like stitch work appears on the shoulder of the symbol of Elistraee, the moon, and the blood, the bastard sword.
As soon as I get
Can I
this
make
club in
that
my...
Can I make the whole dress just look better, just with magic, if I keep it, up?
That would be more of an illusion type spell. Prestidigitation, really, it's for cleaning things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. There is a minor illusion. If
Yeah.
I had that, then
Yes.
I'm gonna grip the club, and through the fogginess of my mind, I'm gonna remember enough of my crimson right that my hand, for a moment, frosts, imbues it and goes up the length of the club. And I'm going to do that.
Okay. In between the grain of the wood, you see ice starting to form. So it's a club, but it looks like it's been dipped in water and then frozen. So it's not sheeted in ice, but there's just ice running through it.
All right.
I say we take care of these asshole guys who run this town.
Now, Euphemia, your foot is still hurt. So you're kind of limp, doing a little bit of a limp.
I'm gonna tear a piece off my cloak and wrap it up.
The hemline of your already short robe rises a little bit higher, and you do a nice job.
No, use the robe I had and make it into bandages.
Okay.
I don't need it anymore.
I guess. You don't want a nude
Well, we have a few
Cleric
robes,
just
so
running around.
can we just, like, use those as, like,
Yeah,
bandages?
tear these off and make some healer's kits if you can, or whatever you priesty people do.
And I'll do that. And also, I'm going to take some of it and just wrap around my knuckle area. Like those little MMA glove things. So if I punch people, I won't break my hand.
Okay. So you're looking at Euphemia's foot as you're trying to bandage it. Roll me a medicine check.
Can I assist him to give him advantage?
Sure.
Then I'm going to
Euphemia
guide
does look a little
myself
bit
with plus
happier to
one.
be out of those bad robes.
Thank God
I just
for
rolled
advantage.
2 since it was advantaged.
Yeah, that's fine. With that 11 skill check, you look at it, and both of you are staring down at her foot as you start wrapping it, and you can see the skin around the cut. You can see that the area is swollen and it's turning red.
Hmm. Seems like she may have some kind of infection.
Looks like it, or it's just bruising.
I don't know much
Honestly,
about
I'm not a
medicine.
doctor. I just kind of asked Tyr to help me fix people. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing.
At worst, I could just cast heal on it.
I've got one healing spell all day, so
Well,
I still say we
Is-
just wrap it,
I'm
clean
not.
stuff,
If
and
I
just hope
cast
for the
heal on it,
best.
will that fix it?
You can try.
can we ask Shavilla if they have a
Okay,
medicine woman here first?
No, I'll do this. I'm fine. I can do this. I'm gonna cast my heal spell.
To cure
my-
wounds. Okay, so you're gonna cast cure wounds on it, or healing word.
Yeah.
Either one. Okay, you do
No,
that.
Cure one.
Yeah, you do that. You cast it, and the infection goes away. The cut seals up, and your foot is back to.
Then can I take a bunch of the cloth from the robe and wrap it around both my feet and try to make like a makeshift shoes?
Sure.
Oh, with our common clothes, do we not get shoes?
She did not give you shoes.
Okay. Well, then I'll be
This is
looking
why
to
I'm
get
doing-
somebody's boots.
Stop stealing from these.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna start heading towards the windmill.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with him. I think all of us
Wait,
are.
we should all go together.
Yeah, let's all
Yep.
go.
I don't care what's going on. I'm pissed off still.
Okay, as you
We're all
guys
pissed off.
walk down the roadway, you can see that the novelty of your presence in the town has worn off a little bit. People have gone back doing their business. Again, the vast majority of people that you're seeing are women or children, and there aren't that many. You can tell. Probably at full capacity, this town holds maybe 60 or 70 people. So, we're talking a couple dozen people that you're seeing right now. But you make your way to the mill, and as you get closer, you hear the creak of the wood as the windmill is turning. You can hear some male voices from inside the building. There's just it's just a little raucous. People are talking, and you hear some shouting and some cursing.
I'm gonna go up to the front door and I'm gonna just start hitting on it with my fist.
Okay. You walk up to the front door. You knock on it a little bit.
I'm gonna stand to the side of the door against the wall.
And from inside you hear a, "What the hell?" And he says, "You, go check who that is." You hear some tools being dropped and some muttering, cursing. As the door opens up, a kind of slight man, definitely not very muscular. He's kind of weasel faced. He opens the door. His hair is greasy, a greasy reddish brown. His face is broken out with some definitely a bad case of acne. And his breath is rotten. He opens the door up. He looks at you in the face. He says, "Well, looky here. Who the hell are you?"
Are you the fools that are in charge of this town?
"In charge? Damn straight. We run this place. Now what the hell do you want? Who are
We
you
want you to give
people?"
up that right.
He looks around. He's looking around. He sees. He's been looking at you, Euphemia, but now he sees the other three people standing around. What did you say?
I was trying to get where, with my back to the wall, unless he came out the door, he couldn't see me.
Okay. So he's just looking at you, Euphemia, and I'm assuming he can see Deimos and Ashok.
Here.
We've been told that you've been causing a lot of trouble in this town, and your ownership is not something that people...
Really now? Who's been telling you such lies as that?
Will it matter? I'm gonna
Oh,
raise my
yeah.
hand up, and it's gonna burst in purple flame.
Whoa! He kind of stumbles backwards. What the hell is this? Brad, get over here! You hear some cursing and a big gruff voice come from around the corner as a much larger man comes around the corner, and he kind of stomps up to the door. He puts his hand on the smaller guy's shoulder and kind of moves him out of the way. He says, "Who the hell are you people? And what are you doing in my town?"
We're here to make sure that you stop bothering these people. I'm gonna start creating flames that are gonna start hovering close to them.
He looks at you and he's not really impressed. He says, "This is our town, my town, and you seem to be causing trouble. Boys!" He claps his hands together and three more guys come from around the corner. You can tell that they had been working. The windmill is rolling and it's providing power to some of their crude machinery inside. They're basically processing logs inside this mill.
Caern is going to kind of do a spin around the door and attempt to get his cold club in a grapple around that guy, the big guy's neck.
Okay, so
not to do any damage, but just to get him, get that right up against his neck so he can feel the coldness, and to kind of get his press it under his jaw, pulling his head back a little bit.
Okay, so you're gonna have to roll athletics for me.
All right.
As you come out around the corner, you try to make a sharp move. This man, he catches you moving out of the corner of his eye, grabs the club, and leverages your arm and kind of like flings you out of the way. You find yourself smacking against the wall. You're still holding onto your club, but he pretty easily tossed you aside. You can tell that this body that you're in is not as capable as what you're used to.
Gotcha.
Now you all have done it. Boys! What are you saying?
I was saying the guy
I'm
that
gonna
fled
cast-
to the guy that
I'm
fled
gonna
to the
cast
side, was he
magic
a big
hand.
guy?
The guy that threw him to the side?
Yeah, how big of a guy was he?
He's pretty big. He's larger than any of you. He's a good 3 or 4 inches taller, and he's pretty muscular. He's got his hands are rough and callous. He's a hard worker. He's been obviously laboring for quite some time. 2 more men come from around the corner, so there's 4 of them total. 4 people total. 4 men total. Standing in front of you. They're all holding some kind
Do
of.
they have any weapons?
The 2 guys coming from around the corner are both holding like hammers, like they've been working on something.
I'm gonna ask which one's the biggest of them all.
The guy right in front of you, Brad, is what he was called.
I'm gonna tell him, sir, we don't really want any trouble, and we know we're gonna kick your asses anyways. So how about we just have like a nice one-on-one duel? We can just settle this like gentlemen.
You walk into my town, pick a fight with me, and you think you're on the right?
No, sir, I don't think I'm on the right. I'm straight in front of you.
Now you're playing me for stupid. And as you're talking to him, from behind you guys, another person comes up, and he's definitely not a worker. You just some of you get a glimpse of him, and he comes shuffling up to you guys. Hold on, stop, please, no violence around here. He's got some kind of glass spectacles. They're cracked a little bit. He's wearing some kind of what used to be, you'd guess, a nice kind of work coat. He's got an air of definitely more sophistication than these loggers in front of you do. He says, please, I don't know who you people are, but violence doesn't solve anything. Doc, you best get your ass out of here. I'm about to beat these people into the ground. Now, Bradis, you know that your father wouldn't like you fighting. Come now, see reason. They're just trying to talk. That bastard over there made a move on me. He points his finger
Sir,
at you, Caern.
I don't swing that way.
Well, that does it. I'll have you roll initiative.
Right.
I see.
Okay, so
Holy crap, these guys rolled some high initiatives.
well, that's what they rolled.
I believe you. Just
Okay, so you're there, Euphemia. You're sort of right in front of them. Deimos, you were kind of standing next to her. Ashok, you were towards the back. So you guys are. This is the doorway. This is you're inside the building. And that's the doorway that you're standing at right now. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Deimos, it is your turn first.
Alright. I'm gonna back up a little bit. First, I guess. Over here.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on myself.
That bumps
as
your
a bonus
AC, right?
action. Yeah, it just bumps my AC.
By 2.
And then, as my base action, I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame on that Brandis.
Okay, go ahead and roll the DC. The cast. So while we're fighting, guys, if your turn is next, go ahead and get your targeting done so that we can move this along. There you go.
I think they just have to do a dex save.
Yeah, so you can target him, and then under the spell, there's a button that makes your targets do the dex save.
Oh, okay, sorry. I just see it now. Sorry.
Okay, so that would be his fail. I'm going to roll damage. Okay, you stretch out your hand, and a burst of golden flame kind of streaks out from your fingertips and hits him in the chest. He kind of looks down as it sears a black mark into his chest and burns a little bit of hole into his tunic.
Also, is it possible?
You need to target him for the damage.
Oh, I'll add the damage to him.
Oh, sorry, that's my fault. I'm really trying not to kill people. Is it possible to have like if I am going to kill someone, to do like non-lethal damage?
Yes, some dual damage.
It's got to be melee damage if you want to designate it as non-lethal.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. All right, so end your turn if you're done.
Wait, it has to
Sorry, I was
be
on the
melee
wrong.
damage to do non-lethal?
Yes, melee damage to be non-lethal.
Oh, fuck, I'm screwed then. Everything I do kills.
That's fine. Just get them really low, and I'll jump on them and start punching people.
Yeah.
I have an ability that I could probably throw at them that'll probably kill them all in one hit.
Ashok, you see this burst of flame fly out and hit the guy in the chest. What do you do?
I'm gonna follow up with my club and try to hit him.
Okay, so go ahead and run in there. That would be a miss. You kind of stumble, force your way through the doorway, but your pudgy body gets a little bit stuck, and it deflects the force of the swing, and he kind of just knocks your club strike aside. The skinnier guy, who you had seen in the first place, the slimy one, he pulls a dagger out of his belt, and he comes rushing around his brother to you, Caern, and he kind of just jumps on top of you and starts trying to attack. The first swing misses, but then he brings his hand around and manages to cut you on the arm with his second swipe.
You can attack twice? Oh my god.
Wow, they got 2 attacks. We are in trouble.
This logger kind of rushes in there and tries to barrel into you, Ashok. He tries to tackle you. So is he gonna do a grapple check? Can you roll a strength check? Or it would be athletics. Roll an athletics check. He comes at you, but you put both of your hands out and kind of like toss him to the side and deflect him off of you. That means it's Bradis' turn. He steps into place, and he's a larger man. There, he's a bigger man than the people around you. He turns to you, Ashok, and from his belt he pulls out a short black club. And he attacks you with advantage since there's more people around you. And he smacks you sharply across the face.
Ow.
Then he turns to, with his second attack, he turns to you, Euphemia. And takes a swing at you with the same club. Again, a good smack across you. It lands on your shoulder as you try to dodge out of the way, and it smarts sharply. Caern, you see this happening, and what do you do?
Okay, since Ashok and Euphemia are at him, I'm going to move through the difficult terrain of Logger 2. No, through Ashok. Still staying within combat with these guys, so I don't get attack of opportunity. and smack Gratis with some dual damage from my club. Or try to, anyway.
Okay, so you're going to try to swing around Ashok?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get advantage because he's got 2 people on top of him. What I could do is just come behind him and take the attack of opportunity from that guy.
Yeah. You wouldn't get advantage. You wouldn't get advantage from doing that. I'm not running.
Why is that?
I'm not running flanking. No, there's no flanking rules here.
You just gave him advantage.
Then how did he get advantage on us?
He has an ability. An ability that gives him advantage when you're within melee of one of his allies.
Okay, then I'll just turn to Vork here and hit him.
Okay. You swing the club.
miss.
This guy is too skinny, and he just kind of shifts his hips a little bit, and your swing goes wide of him.
I have a question.
Yes.
You moved Vork. Was that on purpose or was that a mistake?
He wasn't in a box. He was kind of in half of a box. So I was trying to clarify it.
Oh, okay.
So this logger, he comes around the corner, and for you, Caern, he's trying to tackle you also. Give me an athletics check.
Okay.
Yeah, you toss him off of you, and he goes tumbling down onto his side, several feet away from you. Euphemia, you see this happening. What do you do?
I don't know. We're getting our ass kicked, that's all I know.
What's your turn?
I'm going to reach out with Chilling Touch against this guy.
Okay. That would be a hit, although Chilling Touch is a ranged spell.
Yes.
Yes, so
Ranged melee.
Ranged melee?
It creates a hand and does a melee attack.
Well, it's not melee.
It's a ranged spell attack.
It's a ranged magic attack, yeah.
Being right in front of him, you cast it with disadvantage, so you'll have to roll again.
What do you mean?
Ranged attacks are all automatic disadvantage. Oh, you're attacking Vork?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine then.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, I didn't see that. Yeah, you cast a necrotic hand, it flies out, and it smacks him in his oily face. And he can't regain hit points. Okay. Bonus action.
Is there anything else I can do?
Your bonus action.
Yep.
I'll do Bardic Inspiration for Ashok.
Okay. Ashok, you have 1d6 inspiration die.
Okay.
Go ahead, end your turn. Deimos, it's your turn. You see Euphemia cast a spell, and you hear a squeal as Vork takes a little bit of a hit to his chest. What do you do?
Alright, well, I backed up far enough. I'm going to cast Guidance on myself as my bonus action. And I'm going to charge forward full speed and grab Brandis and try to grapple him to the ground.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Isn't it athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
Balls.
You charge into him, and he just kind of stops you with both hands. Stops you in place. And he's just there with both hands on you, glaring at you.
Alright, that's me.
Okay. Ashok, you see this happening. What do you do?
Oh, my turn, sorry. I'm gonna try to hit Vork.
Okay. So you were targeting you were targeting both of them.
Oh.
So yeah, so
Oh,
on target. There you go. So go ahead and roll damage now. Okay. Yeah, you smack him right across the head with your club. He shudders a little bit, but he's still standing. Okay. As Vork takes his turn, he kind of looks at you, Caern, and says, "You all picked the wrong fight today. Heh, what a bunch of wimps like you taking on some hardened loggers. I'll teach you." He swipes at you twice with his dagger.
So he gets advantage too?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
You guys are seeing
You're
that
pretty sure.
these guys are, they've been working hard their whole lives. They're strong. They're tough. They might not be trained fighters, but they're definitely what do you call it? Strong men. So they're coming at you and they're laying into you guys pretty hard. Ashok, this guy, he swings with two fists, misses you with his right fist, and kind of blobs you across the face with his left hand.
Can I put my hand and say, okay, you guys win. There's no more reason to keep fighting.
You bunch of fools come around here, I'm gonna beat you within an inch of your life, you jackasses. Euphemia, he pulls out his with that same club, and he smacks you square across the face, one side, and with his second attack, hits you again, and you can feel yourself losing consciousness as you collapse to the ground.
As my bonus action, I'm going to tell Bradus if he doesn't stop, I'm going to kill his brother. And I'm going to take a swing at his brother.
Okay. That's a solid hit. Oops. That's 8 damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. With that hit, solid across the head, especially imbued with cold energy, you...
And this subdual damage.
Yeah.
I don't want him to... I threaten that, but I don't actually want to kill this guy.
Okay. You smack him squarely across the head. You can see, almost in slow motion, as his face contorts and molds around the shape of as your club impacts the side of his face. His cheeks kind of flare out, and you can see spittle flying everywhere. His eyes cross and roll up into the back of his head as he glazes over. He spins around and collapses to the ground in a heap in front of you. His
That
dagger
far away?
clattering to the side there, several feet in
Okay.
front of you. His dagger kind of clattering to the ground in front of you. You hear Bradus go, "Whoa, my brother! What did you do?"
I'm going to tell him we can save his life, but you have to put down your arms right now.
At that, you hear the man in the like the overcoat behind you guys say, "Move out of the way! Move out of the way! I can deal with this! Move, move, move!" And he kind of shoves his way through you. He kind of pushes you aside, Deimos, and he pushes Bradus back. He says, "Back off, Bradus! I can handle this!" And he pushes this logger back, and he goes over to Vork, and he reaches into a pouch at his side and pulls out a cloth and a little bottle.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to say, when
What?
he was coming past, could I have grabbed him?
Okay. What are you trying
Mainly
to do?
just because Euphemia's kind of right there.
Okay.
And I was going to try to grab him and just ask him what he's doing.
He turns to you and says, "I'm a doctor. I have to do what I can for people who are hurting."
Well,
Well,
she's
my
hurting.
friend's here. I would take care of her first.
At this Bradus in front of you, he pulls out his club again, and he glares at you in the eyes, Deimos, and says, "My brother's first."
She got knocked out first. Can't we wait turns?
he reaches forward and grabs the doctor's other shoulder, and he yanks on it, trying to pull him away from you. Let's do strength check, or go ahead and roll athletics. Okay, he can't quite pull him away from you, and the doctor, with the force of both of you yanking and Bradis's grip kind of slipping off his shoulder, he kind of tumbles into you, Deimos, and he says, "Hold on, Bradis. Your brother will be okay. Give me a second here. Give me a second. Everybody, calm down. Bradis, I'm gonna tell your father. Back off." Bradis kind of straightens up a little bit. You can see a little bit of a dejected look in his face, and he says, "Well, all right. But you best see to my brother, and he better be all right when you're done with him."
While they're busy talking, I'm just gonna pick up his brother's dagger and stick it in my back of my belt.
Are you trying to be stealthy about that?
Yeah.
Okay, sleight of hand.
Okay. Do I still have that blessing from him or not?
Guidance, that lasts a minute, so that was a while ago
So
that you
no.
cast that, yeah. Okay, so that's a 13 sleight of hand. The logger next to you, this is his perception check. As you're reaching out for the dagger, you feel these rough hands clamp down on your wrist, and the logger next to you, this guy, says, "What do you think you'd be doing there, mister?"
Disarming the guy that was trying to kill me.
"I'll be taking that." He kind of picks up the dagger, sticks it in his own waistband, and says, "You mind your business. We're not done with you yet." Back over at Euphemia, the doctor, he's leaning over you. The cloth, he pulls some of this, this liquid out of a small bottle, spreads out on the cloth, and he kind of holds it up to your nose, and you kind of come to. You shake your head, and it pulls you up out of your unconscious state. You're aching. The side of your head was pretty well knocked by the small black club that Bradis has, but you're back up. You're at least sitting up right now. The doctor says, Okay. She'll live. Don't worry, she'll live. Let me see to Vork over there." And he goes over and he takes the same cloth and he does the same thing. And Vork pops, his eyes open up, and he kind of gets back up onto his... He's sitting up a little bit. "Now can we please have a peaceable conversation here?"
We sure can, as long as the big brute will.
Bradis is a little bit pacified. He looks around at you guys distrustingly, and he says, "Say what you're gonna say, and say it fast." Okay?
Well, we'd really like to talk to your father as well. Where is he?
"My pa? Don't nobody talk to my pa unless he wants them to."
Well, this may be hard to believe, but do you remember the war that started the breaking?
I have no idea what in the hell you're talking about. All I know is you bunch of people rolled in here and attacked my brother. If it weren't for the good doc, man, I'd have you all flayed out on the ground right now.
I could have easily taken your brother's life, but I held back.
The doctor kind of chimes in and says, "Bradis, he is correct. He is correct. Your brother here, he was not..." "Bradis, please see reason." He kind of drops his blackjack down and he waves his hand in the air and kind of shoos his men back. He says, "Alright, boys. Back off for a second. Let's talk a spell." Okay?
We found ourselves up in the hills from here with nothing. This was the first settlement we came to. I won't bore you with the details on how we came there, but the word from this town is that your little brother here is trying to pressure women and doing things that no good man should do. And it is your villagers, the people that trust you guys for their survival, now fear that their women could be raped. And we just couldn't see that as good people. We had to address that with you. Now, we did come in a little heavy, I admit, but you should see reason that even though you rule over these people and you give them jobs, does not give you guys the right to take advantage, especially of their women folk.
He looks at you, Caern, and his eyes flick over to his brother Vork, and he's glaring. And Vork kind of looks back at him and roll persuasion.
Man, I'm not supposed to be the one rolling these rolls. Okay.
Actually, roll persuasion. Here, let's do this again. Roll persuasion and do it in the dice tower.
Okay.
Okay. You can see the two brothers looking at each other, and imperceptible almost. You can tell they're almost they're not communicating mentally or anything like that, but there's an understanding between them. And Bradis turns to you and says, "Might be you have a point, but you listen here. We done everything for these people. Weren't for us, they'd have nothing. Absolutely nothing. They'd all be starved to death if it weren't for us. My brother here, he is a piece of shit. But sometimes these people ain't grateful like they should be. Now, I'm not trying to justify what he done, but you show respect."
And you're right. You got your family has provided for these people, giving them work and everything. And I don't know in what ways they have not shown you respect, but I'm showing you now respect that I apologize for my actions, and I think that you can understand that I did show restraint with your brother when I could have done worse. But the fact being, we just want you guys to do right by this small village, and that whatever problems you have, they need to be discussed, not just lorded over.
He kind of looks at you, and he doesn't nod, or he doesn't say anything. He just kind of steps back and says, Pa! I got some men you might want to talk to." From out of the side room, you hear a little bit of a shuffling. And an older man steps out He's kind of hunched over. You can tell he's not in the best physical health. He's moving slowly. His eyes are kind of sunken. His skin is kind of pasty and white against his. He's not in the best health. He looks at you over at you, and he looks over at Vork on the ground, and he looks over at Bradis, and he doesn't say a thing. He just turns around and goes back into the room, and the door closes behind him. Well, you all, you get the hell out of here. I got some talking to do. The doctor stands up and says, "Yes, yes, of course. You four, please, just come with me. Let's. Our business here is done. We don't want any more violence." And he grabs Ashok. He grabs your shoulder, and he kind of starts like tugging on you, like, "Let's get out of here."
All right.
I'm going to help Euphemia up, and I'll carry her if she needs me to.
Okay. Come this way, please. Come this way. He leads you guys off to a small hut that's a little bit removed from the rest of the town. And he kind of opens the door inside. He removes his shoes as he gets to the doorway. He just puts them off to the side outside the doorway, and he steps inside. He says, "Come inside, please. Please come inside." Okay. So
Thank
you guys,
for your help.
yeah, you guys are sitting inside the doctor's. There's a series of chairs in there, so you guys can all have a seat. And you're sitting there. He beckons Euphemia over, and he starts bandaging her head, and he pulls out some more bottles and crushes a couple of herbs into a bowl, and starts touching them to the side of her head. He says, "Who are you people? I haven't seen anyone stand up to the Olid boys in forever. What are you doing here?" Ashok, he's kind of looking at
Trying
you.
to do some good.
"And you? What did you think you were doing?"
I was just helping my friends defend themselves.
"Huh. Well, I thank you. I mean, I never will approve of violence, but those boys, they could sure use a talking to sometimes. Their dad hasn't done a thing for years." And yeah, so you guys spend some time in the doctor's office, and he takes great care to treat you and to bandage your wounds. You guys can have a short rest.
Does he heal any of the hit points?
Yeah, I'll say for you, Euphemia, he'll clear off most of your damage. So you're sitting at 3. Ashok, he comes over to you and he bandages you a little bit. You're sitting at 4 hit points. And Caern, he'll take the rest off of you.
Okay.
Okay. So you're sitting down with the doctor, and as the time goes by, you have some chance to talk to each other. You find out that his name is Tom, Dr. Tom Sheffwin. And he's been in the town for about 3 years. You can tell he's obviously an educated and talented man, whose abilities far outstrip being in this small village. But he kind of tells you a little bit of his story. He used to live. He had a practice in a larger city, the town of Amberbrook, about 3 days' journey from here. But for some reason, which he won't really betray or tell you, he decided to leave the town and come over here. And he's been caring for these people ever since. He finds the small environment kind of calming and peaceable. He likes the people here, and he enjoys being in this area.
Um, I want to ask him if he knows if there's an Order of the Right anywhere near Amberbrook.
Order of the Right? Are you talking of blood hunters?
Yes.
I recall someone coming through town a few years ago, back when I was there. That was full on, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, I recall seeing a blood hunter. They're really rare in this part of the country. But yeah, maybe someone there knows how to get in touch with her.
Okay. Do you remember what she looked like?
He kind of scratches his head a little bit.
Short black hair. Wiry, thin. Big scar running across her face, between her eyes and down the right side of her cheek. Really sharp incisors.
He's kind of pointing to the teeth in his mouth.
Sharpened. They were more sharp than was natural. I think she took a file to them or something. That's about what I remember.
You didn't get a name, did you?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't have a reason to associate much with blood hunters.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look over at Caern. Why do you keep asking about those blood hunters?
Euphemia, you know what I was before. I must become so again.
Oh, wow. If they still exist. It might not be the same thing that you remember.
I didn't quite catch what you said. Hold on, I'm turning up some more.
So they might not be the same thing that you remember.
They may not, but I must find out.
Okay. So as you guys are hanging around there, is there anything else you guys want to talk to the doctor about or ask him?
About this town, is there anywhere we can find a leather worker or a blacksmith, or do we have to go to Amberbrook for that?
Well, for those stations proper, you would definitely have to go to the larger village. Amberbrook would be the place. There is a blacksmith there, and you would find fine leathers in that area. The Olid boys, they have some supplies. Probably your best bet to get your hands on that kind of thing would be to get on their good graces and work out a way to equip yourselves.
He kind of looks down at your feet and says,
Yeah, it would be tough traveling without any shoes.
Yes. But how to get on their good graces after we've mustered up so bad?
Wow, that might be beyond me. Maybe they'd have a job or something you can do, or prove yourself to them. I don't know.
the time has gone by, and you can tell that you're well into the afternoon now. The doctor says to you, he looks outside the window and says,
Oh, the men will be coming home soon.
Have to prove ourselves to some of the most worst people in town. It's always a great thing.
what'd you say? I couldn't hear you too well.
I was just commenting on how we would have to work for the worst people in town.
It's a means to an end, Euphemia. We have to do what we have to do to earn some coin and then move on.
The doctor kind of
looks at you all and says, "Wait a second. Blood Hunter. You. Who are you people?" He's kind of scratching his head a little bit. You can see the wheels turning and him starting to make some connections in his mind.
We used to be more than we are now, but we failed. My name is Caern. I was once a council member among the Crimson Rite.
Council member? Are you saying that you people are... He stands up. He pokes his head out the door, looks left and right, then he steps back in and closes the door. He says, "I don't know who you are, but I can tell that you're not ordinary people. I have something to tell you. I've only been in this town for 3 years, but something's not right. The old man Deimos, when I got here, he was the life of the town. This was a happy place. But something happened. Something happened 2 years ago, and the place has changed. Deimos never comes out. He never talks to anybody. And the town has started to dwindle. People are scared. People are stressed. And people are disappearing."
What do you mean disappearing?
I don't know. One day they're here and the next day they're not. But my last count, in the last 2 years, about 16 or 17 people have gone. Some of them have been families, a couple of them, but others didn't make much sense. There was this nice young man. He had a little girl, a daughter, and he up and just left one day. He left, and his wife and his daughter are still here in town. And then these two boys, they were just teenagers, and they were raring to go and hoping to follow into the family business of logging, and one day they were just gone.
What happened 2 years ago?
The old man was out with his son. Not the boys you see. He had a third son, the oldest son. Nice young man that was. But they went out one day and they were traveling, and 4 or 5 days later they came back and it was just the old man. And ever since then he's been different.
He's never spoke of what happened to his son?
I don't hardly recall him speaking ever at all since then.
Caern looks to the rest of the group. What do you think?
Obviously something strange going on, but we're in no position to help anyone at this point. That last little foray kind of proved it.
Well, I think we should try to get a job with him and learn what we can on what's going on here.
The doctor kind of looks at you all and says, "You know, I might be able to barter some work for you to get into their good graces. They like me. I'm the only one who can patch them up, and I've patched those stupid boys up plenty."
Okay. I'd like to do an insight check on the doctor.
Okay. Best you can tell, he doesn't seem to be hiding anything.
Okay. Yeah, how You think you could get us some work?
Yeah. We had a really hard winter last year, and a lot of people got sick. I had to use up a lot of my supplies, but I'm running really low now, and if you could help me gather some herbs from the mountains, and that would be good work. I could probably get the men to respect that.
You think you could get us some shoes?
Now that might be a possibility.
Okay. If you'll get us some shoes, then I have no problem helping you get the herbs.
Okay. He kind of turns to you and says, "Let me talk to the boys. It's been a few hours now. They might have calmed down, and like I said, they wouldn't dare do anything to me. I'm the only medical person in this whole, within 3 days' travel from here. Let me talk to them. I'll come find you later." So he kind of gets up, and he leaves. He walks out and he heads back in the direction of the windmill.
Before he leaves, can I ask him if there's anywhere we can stay?
He looks around and says, as you can see, and you look around the room, around his little shack, like built like the rest, but it's full. It's full of cabinets and books and medical equipment. Some vials and some different substances. He doesn't really have room in this area. He says, I'm afraid I don't have a place for you. There may be someone in town. If you'd made any friends or talked to any of the people there, I'm sure someone would put you up for the night."
Okay. I think we're gonna go back to...
Davila?
Yeah, Shavala. See if she'll let us...
Her house wasn't as big as this either, so I don't think you guys are in need of it.
Well, we could maybe sleep in the one room and she sleep in the bedroom.
Get some food.
Yeah, and maybe get a meal, and then we'll, if you want to, you can meet us there. And what was the doctor's name? Tom?
Tom, yeah.
You could meet us there, Tom.
Oh, sure, I know Shavala, sure. Okay.
Is that okay with the rest of you? Deimos? Ashok?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, as you guys are walking out of the house, Chef, you see a blur of white fur cross your path.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna chase it.
Okay. So what this is a chase. So this is an actual mechanic that's in the Dungeon Master's Guide. You are allowed to dash 1 spirit per turn, and then extra times according to your Constitution modifier. So you have a +2 on your Constitution modifier, and you can dash so that you can dash 2 more times. But every time above the first dash, you have to roll a Constitution check, a DC 10 Constitution check, to be able to basically not get exhausted from running so hard. Okay.
Can I help him? Or is this a one-on-one chase?
You can run along with him, if that's what you want to do. You can try to catch the cat also.
Yeah, because I fell in love with that little girl too when I rolled the roll, so I'm gonna want to help him too.
I want to chase the kitty too.
Okay. Alright, so all of you just start taking off after this cat. So...
I want to watch and make fun of him.
Of course you do.
Okay. So I'm going to make you guys all smaller to show a little bit more distance.
So are these gonna be like ability checks on our Constitution, or just straight Constitution rolls?
They're just straight Constitution checks. Okay. Let me see if I don't think I have a cat token. Oh, I do. Holy cow. Check that out. Okay. The cat is running ahead of you. And it's a full-on, probably 30 feet away from you. It's running down the center of town, down the
the kind of like the dirt path that goes down the center of town. Okay. So on his
Can
turn.
we roll initiative?
Sure. Okay. Ashok, you are first.
I will dash.
Okay. So you move. So you move your action up to here. You dash, and you can get another full-on diagonal square over.
And that's all I can do.
Your Constitution is +2, so you can dash again. You can dash 2 more times, but you'll have to roll a check to not get exhausted.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. Go ahead. Alright, the first time you make it without any Constitution damage. Go ahead and if you want to try again. Okay.
Ah.
You have 1 level of exhaustion. And I don't see a way to mark that. Just remember that for now. Okay? Caern, your turn. Now you guys can do actions too, so if you want to cast spells or throw something, you're allowed to do that as well.
No, I don't want to hurt the cat. Okay, so move me up my dash, how far I can move.
Okay? So that's your normal movement. Your dash takes you to there.
Okay, then I'll roll a con check.
Okay,
Oh.
so you take 1 level of exhaustion. You're getting winded from sprinting so hard. You can go again if you
Yeah.
want.
Me. Okay. Doesn't it take more than 1 rest to get off if I go any further over my exhaustion?
Constitution. I think you get rid of 1 level. Normally, you get rid of 1 level per long rest. But who knows? Maybe the doctor could help you.
Okay.
Alright, you got 2 levels of exhaustion. You're pretty winded.
Yeah, I'm stopping there.
Deimos, your turn.
Alright. Would resistance work on these Constitution checks?
Let me see here. Yeah. I'll let that work for that.
Alright, sweet. Well, I'm putting that on myself, and I'm gonna start chasing the cat.
Okay. So you run up 1 full motion there, including your dash.
Yep, and then I'll dash.
Okay.
Is it a Constitution, or
Now
is
to-
it just a straight
To dash
D20?
again, give me a Constitution check plus your D4. Oh yeah, you blow that one away. You can dash 1 more
And then
time.
I'll dash 1 more time.
Okay,
And then
so
on this one, can I add the D4? It says you can pick
Yes.
when you use it.
yes,
And I don't think I can fail if it's a 10.
correct.
And that's me.
Okay, so the cat kind of changes direction and darts off between 2 buildings. And now it's Ashok's turn.
Okay. So the exhaustion is like damage, non-lethal damage.
There's different effects for levels of exhaustion. Let me see here what it says here. Level 1, you have disadvantage on your next ability check, on all ability checks. Level 2, your speed is cut in half. Okay, level 3, you have disadvantage on attack rolls and on saving throws. So, the more exhaustion you get, the more it the worse it gets. But right now, you only have disadvantage on checks.
How long does that last?
Till you take a long rest.
Yeah, a long rest removes 1 level of exhaustion.
One
Dash.
level?
Yes.
So in other words, it would take like 4 days if they hit like level 4
Yeah.
exhaustion.
Yep, under normal rules, yeah. Okay, so you took your normal dash and movement.
I'm gonna try to get up to the cat with a Constitution roll.
Okay, go ahead and roll Constitution.
Ah.
Alright, so you take another level of exhaustion, but you're on top of the cat, so you get to roll a dexterity check to try to catch the cat. Now, since you're
Animal
exhausted...
handling?
Okay, animal handling. Roll me animal handling, but with disadvantage.
Less points, but it seems more appropriate.
Okay, roll it one more time.
Just so you guys know, there's a DIS and ADV button there.
Yeah.
You can use that instead of rolling twice.
Oh, the cat just barely wiggles out of your grasp.
Do I still have inspiration?
You do. You have inspiration.
Oh.
You have bardic inspiration. Go ahead and roll your d6.
He caught the cat.
Okay, you managed to grab, to just with a diving lunge, grab the cat right by the scruff of its neck and pick it up in the air.
I yell that I got the kitty.
Good job, good job. Okay, you you guys caught the cat. Congratulations.
And I'm fat.
Is that the end of the session then?
I'm gonna slump back slowly to town in my exhausted self.
You guys win. You win the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess we'll take it back to the
Little girl.
little girl's house.
Okay. It doesn't take you long to find her house. She's kind of out in front of, in like the lawn in front of the house. It's not really a lawn, it's a patch of grass. But you can tell it's at least been cared for a little bit. And she's actually digging in the dirt with a little trowel that she has. And she's digging around some flowers, some pretty flowers.
You cut off it actually.
What?
You cut off it actually?
Okay. She's digging in front of her yard with some flowers. The little garden is cared for. It's not super pretty, but it's well cared for. And she's just there humming to herself, digging into flowers.
Ashok, I think you have something for the little girl.
I'll approach the little girl with the kitty in my hands and watch her reaction.
She's kind of humming to herself absent-mindedly. She hears your footsteps approaching. She glances up, and her eyes go wide, and you can see her little freckled face and her little reddish-brown hair kind of toss as this huge, bright smile crosses her face. And she goes, "Truffles!" And she drops her little trowel, and she comes running towards you. And she hugs, she wraps her arms both around the cat. She hugs it, and she goes, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." And she picks the cat up. The cat's kind of rolling its eyes as it's helpless in her arms, and she's like bear hugging it and spinning around. The cat's kind of being tossed around with her, but she's obviously very happy.
And I tell the little girl, I said, why don't you go tell your mother what I did, and that I'd like to talk to her for just a second.
And you hear a voice from the doorway saying, "There'll be no need for that. I saw." And standing in the doorway is this lady, again, reddish-brown hair, kind of like her daughter, and says, "I will talk to you. Come in." And she waves you guys in.
Alright, I guess I'll go in.
Okay.
Same.
Yep.
Similar setup. This one it's neat and cared for. This house is a little bit more meager than the other ones you've been in. You can tell that they've struggled to make ends meet. None of these houses are particularly wealthy at all, or even luxurious, or by definitely by the standards that you've been accustomed to. But this one is quite poor. But it's clean.
This is the family where the dad disappeared. Isn't it?
She lowers her eyes and says, "How did you know? Yes, my husband is no longer with us."
We're very sorry for your loss, ma'am. The good doctor, Tom, told us what has been happening.
Yes, Dr. Tom, he's a kind man. He's probably of all the people he's been most kind to us. He'll sometimes stop by and drop off little parcels of food. He'll take care of Lily here when she cuts her knee or something like that. Yes, I like the doctor.
Caern looks to Ashok.
I really just wanted to let you know that we didn't mean any harm coming to your town, and we were just talking to your little girl earlier, and she asked us to retrieve her cat, and we did.
Thank you.
What do you... Oh.
No, thank you. Thank you for being so kind to Lily.
I would like to know, have you noticed anything strange happening in this town, or especially in light of the events of the past couple years, aside from the disappearances?
Well,
She kind of ponders a little bit and says,
I'm sure the doctor told you about the changes in the town. My daughter and I would have left long ago if we had the means. With my husband gone, it's been a struggle every day just to make it by. This cat is her only source of joy. The other children, they treat her strangely. Last couple of years, I'm not quite sure I know what you're talking about. The most odd thing, well, it's a silly thing. It's a silly thing. No, that couldn't be it.
she kind of shakes her head.
Please, continue.
She says,
When I'm by myself and I kneel to pray, it's as if I'm praying to nothing. I don't feel the presence of my God anymore. But
Who is your god?
she kind of bows her head and she says,
Torm, the God of mercy and good.
What is your name, fair maiden?
Ah.
Fair maiden, ma'am.
My name is Violet Creason,
Violet.
and this is
I
my
know
daughter
that
Lily.
Yes, we've met beautiful Lily. She was the first one to greet us to your little hamlet. I know you guys have been here, secluded from the outside world, but the Prince of Darkness himself, Asmodeus, has declared war on the gods. And there's a war waging right now.
she kind of looks at you like such things are well beyond her. She's like,
What? What?
Yes, and we're gonna try to find out why the disappearances are happening, but how much would it take, or do you even know where you would go if you left this place?
she thinks a little bit and she says,
I have no family. My husband was everything, and now all I have is to remind me of him is Lily. Oh, I wish I could find my husband. But if not for that, we have made friends here. Things are difficult, especially with Vork Olid and the looks he gives me and the things he says.
Well, Vork met the business end of my little club today, and we've had a talk with them. I think you may see a change in his attitude, hopefully. But if not, come to us and let me know.
I thank you. I thank you.
okay. You spend a little bit more time talking to her. And what she tells you about her husband it's a little bit curious. He went he got summoned to the Olid mill one day. He was one of their loggers, and almost without saying anything else, he came in and said he had to go do something. He grabbed some of his clothing and left town. He said he'd be back soon, in a few days. He left town, but he never came back.
I think the old man... I don't know what to think yet. We're just going
We
to
don't
have
have enough
to
information.
learn. Yes. Let's go to Shibby house and try to get a meal and wait for Tom to return.
Okay. You guys head back over that direction. Lily kind of follows you out the door, still clutching her cat. The cat's kind of squirming in her arms, but it's resigned itself to its fate of being held tightly by the 6-year-old girl. And she's humming along. She says, "I'll go with you. I'd love to come talk with you guys and hang out." And she looks back at her mother, and her mother, she nods her head and says, "Yes, go on, Lily. Come back before nightfall." And you guys all head over back to Shavla's house. There's Shavla. She's actually been cooking. She has in front of her house. She has a pot of stew going on, and there's some, there's some vegetables in it, and what looks like a version of potatoes floating around inside the stew. And she says, "Why, you got here just in time. We're about to have our evening lunch, our dinner, and our party. Our parties start as soon as the men get home and get all refreshed from their work out in the fields."
Oh, it's good to see you again, Shavala.
"Did you get anything done over at the mill? I heard some shouting and some action going on. What did y'all get yourselves into?"
Anybody you want to tell her?
Well, you're the.
I'm trying not to be, so...
Well, you kind of laid the guy out, so.
Well, I did something stupid, and it ended up in me knocking Rock out, and the doctor interceded, but we had a productive conversation, and I think you may see a change in Brock's attitude, hopefully.
She gives a great big cackle of a laugh, and she says, "Oh, that's good news. That's good news. That boy had it coming to him. I'd like to have socked him one myself." So you guys spend some time talking and resting. She feeds you, and as the sky starts to darken with the nighttime coming, some more people come out from town, and Shavala introduces you to several. She points you out to the men. The men bring their families, and they're all just like salt of the earth people. She says, "This here's Hamish, this here's Joe, and that's his friend Vass, and this is the lovely Alicia. Yep, she and Hamish, they've been courting for the last few months. I think we might be having a wedding come around these parts soon." And she kind of points around. Everyone eats. They're not wealthy folk, but they're good folk. Someone after dinner's over, someone heads back to their house and comes back and brings out a flute and a little drum, and they start singing and playing some music. And they're all just having a good time.
Euphemia, sing for us.
I think they're doing quite well by themselves, actually. Euphamia still looks a little out of it since, getting hit right in the fucking head with that club.
Yeah. As you guys are around the fire and you're singing, Another couple people come out, and they bring some more instruments with them. One of them is playing a lyre, and another one has it's like a homemade lyre, but it's still it's in tune enough to go along. And another one is
Did you
what?
cut out?
Yeah, you said one of them
You
is
said
playing a
liar, and you
lyre.
kind of,
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
cut out for a while.
One of them has a homemade lyre. It's not the best instrument, but it plays well enough to keep the tune of what's going on. And they all
Can
start
I
singing
go
a song.
over that person?
Sure. You sit down next to
I'll
the
go over that
guy.
person and ask them if they could. I was wondering if you could teach me how to play that instrument.
It's that man Hamish that Shavala was pointing out earlier. He looks at you and says, well, I don't think I've ever seen someone look like you before. He's your skin, why it's prettier than the midnight sky.
She blushes slightly. Thank you.
But
I
sure,
used to play something just like that. A long
sure,
time ago, but
sure.
It's been a long time.
Take a seat. He kind of scoots over on the log that he's sitting on, and he's been strumming some chords, and he kind of points out some finger positions to you and hands it over to you. Now you remember you have the knowledge of how to play. It's just your hands, they don't move naturally there anymore. Your body's kind of untrained. You know what needs to happen, but the fingers quite aren't practiced enough to get there. So it's coarse what you're doing, but you pluck out a few notes and get to some chords. And after about 15 minutes, you're able to make an acceptable tune. About that time, the doctor comes walking up the way, and behind him is Bradis Olid and Vork Olid, and they're carrying some stuff with them. And he comes up and walks up to you guys and says, "Oh, there you are, there you are. I've been looking for you. I think we have struck a good deal." He comes up to talk to you.
Who's he looking at?
I'll say he's looking at you, because since you spoke up.
Well, what kind of deal did you find?
Well, you know what? They said that they would give you these sets of boots,
And you can see they're all carrying nice, well-made leather boots, and a couple of bundles of clothing, and basically traveler supplies. There's good leather clothing. There's some like water bags, bags for water. There's a couple of packs. They have some basic traveling supplies on them.
they said they would supply you with these things since I knew you were without.
Have some basic, and you cut out.
Yeah, that sounds great. What were you asking for in return?
So there's some boots. There's some basic travel clothing. Some water bags and some packs with rations and basic gear, camping gear in them.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Bradis Olid, he looks at you and says, "Ain't much we're asking from you, but my pa had a word with us, and he says to give you this here stuff if you do a job for him."
The job.
The job is to go to his cousin's mine. His cousin, Rod Philbin. Oh, it's about 15 miles northwest of here. Go to the mine, pick up, he's got a couple of crates for us. You pick those things up and you bring them back here. We'll call ourselves square. And my numbskull of a brother here, I'll be watching him, make sure he don't do no more crap.
I like that idea. What do the others think? I turn and look at Deimos and Caern, and he's busy with the instruments, but
Um, so go pick up a couple crates of supplies and bring them back in return for this equipment.
That's what he said, yeah.
How safe is it from here to there?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, say it's an easy journey, but the road there is at least somewhat traveled. Might be running some animals along the way. There may be some roving bandits around these parts, but for the most part, you should, a strong group of travelers like yourselves, you should be able to make the journey.
And when we get back, will we have an opportunity for more work?
I'll tell you what. You come back here, you'll be part of us. We'll help you out.
Then I agree. I don't know about the other two.
I agree.
Sounds like something to do till we figure out what we're supposed to do.
Okay?
I'm more interested in the instrument, and I look at the old man that I'm sitting next to. Do you mind if I borrow this?
Hamish, he kind of looks at you and smiles and says, well, it's the only one I have. I don't know, you could... How long were you thinking for?
I'll give it back to you after we get back from the supply run that they're talking about over there.
I think I could accept that. Sure. It won't be more than a few days. Sure.
I'll see you keep it
Okay.
practice.
Okay. So you take the lyre. It's a simple lyre, but it's a musical instrument. And with that, the doctor kind of looks at you and says, "Oh my, you were looking a little tuckered out, a couple of you. Here,
Yeah.
here, take some of these." He reaches in, pulls out two rough, odd shapes. Not pills. They didn't have pills back then, but they're packets of crushed herbs, and says, "You brew this in some hot water before you go to sleep tonight, and you'll feel right as rain in the morning."
Thank you, Dr. Tom.
Okay.
Speaking of which, where are we going to sleep tonight?
Shavala comes up to you guys and says, "Why, with me, of course, young man." And she kind of winks at you and kind of jabs you with her shoulder, with her elbow a little bit. "You all are welcome at my place."
Thank you very much. I'm going to go slide some boots on and look through the gear a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, the guys drop off the stuff and they make their way back. They head back to the windmill right away. You can tell that they don't really socialize with the rest of the town much. Okay, so you guys can make sure you all have a set of common clothes. You all have a backpack. You have... I'll let you add these to your inventories yourselves.
Was there like any armor, leather armor, or anything like that in there?
No. No.
Common clothes and backpack, that's all?
I got a backpack. What else do we get?
I'm typing it in the chat. That's about what you got there.
Per person, or do we have to share? Or?
Oh, for each of you.
Okay.
Okay. And as you're all sitting around there looking through your gear, the music strikes back up again, and one of the let's see here. Let me pull it up. One of the older men. He's had a couple too many swigs from his mug of ale, And you can tell he's a little tipsy. He says, "Hey, play me that their catchy tune. Play it for me, chaps." So they all start playing on their instruments, and he starts singing a song. He goes, "In days of old and kingdom bold, there lived a fearsome dragon, and the king he was in great distress, and the country spirits flagging. Until one day there came a knight, he was handsome, bold, and charming. He slew the dragon with his sword, and with a smile so disarming. With a hey and a ho and a hey nanny no, a smile so disarming. Said the king, I wish to know your name, but the knight said, do not bother. For the name of a knight of the realm, says he, is the same as any other. Said the king, tonight in my daughter's bed ye shall take your leisure. She'll reward you for your marvelous deeds with a night of exhausting pleasure. With a hey and a ho and a hey nanny no, a night of exhausting pleasure. One daughter she had, raven hair, a maiden young and chaste. She slept all night in the pale moonlight, she was naked to the waist. The other daughter she was fair, the fairest in the town. She slept all night in the pale moonlight, naked from her head down. With a hey and a ho and a hey nanny no, naked from her head down. Well, the night he spent many an hour behind that castle wall. But the ending to my story, dear, isn't what it seems at all. For in neither bed of neither maid was he repaid for his glory. But he slept all night with the king instead, for this is a fairy story. With a hi and a ho and a hey nanny no, for this is a fairy story. And everyone kind of laughs, and there's a lot of smattering applause, and he takes a big bow, spilling half of his mug of ale, and sits and stumbles back off to his chair. Okay.
It's a plot twist.
You guys all kind of you're tuckered out for the night, and unless you have anything else you want to do, the villagers are starting to turn back into their beds.
Well, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm gonna brew that little thing up and drink it and go to sleep.
Okay. So you all head back to Shavala's house. She clears their table and chair out, stacks it in a corner, and there's enough room for you all to lie down on the floor. Euphemia, you go into the bedroom with her, and she's got a little spot on the floor at the foot of the bed where you can lie down. And you guys all have a good long rest. Okay. The sun rises.
For some reason it's not want to drag that tinderbox over.
The sun rises. You hear a rooster somewhere off in the distance. And it is the next morning. The men of the town are all humming and singing and heading back off to the forest to start felling more trees. The women are doing their chores, cleaning houses, laundry, starting to make meals for the day. Shavala provides you with a few biscuits and some water for your flasks. And yeah, she says, "Why, you good young folk are welcome back here any time."
Thank you, Miss Shavala.
Okay.
Do we need to do anything before we head out?
Well, I have a robe I can give her. Change for the clothes.
Okay. You hand it to her, and she kind of looks at it a little bit. She's fingering the material, and she says, "This is good cloth. Thank you. I can make myself a nice little night dress out of this."
I deleted it out of my inventory.
I'll give her mine too.
Okay. All right. You guys want to head out?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. You start. Go on.
Is there any way that I could find an axe before we leave, or not?
Okay, roll Roll me a straight D20, and it's a success on 11 or higher.
Nope.
Did you roll? Drop it in the chat box. Okay, so I saw an 8. Okay, so no, you're unfortunately you're not able to find an axe.
I got some lag for some reason.
Yeah, I wonder if my internet is cutting out. Oh well.
Okay.
You guys take the road heading north. You had gotten some rough directions from them. Basically, they say take the main north road, and you'll eventually come to a crossroad, and there should be a sign pointing in the direction of the Philbin mines. And according to what the doctor said, the Philbin mines are owned by Jameis Olid's cousin, and you're heading there to pick up some crates.
Okay.
Okay. So, they said it's about 15 miles away, so that's going to take most of a day, but you left early enough in the morning that you guys are traveling for a while. After, around midday, you settle down, take a break, eat some of your rations. Pretty uneventful. You get back on the road, and you come to the crossroads. And the way that the signposts are angled, you can see one direction it says Amber Brook, and to the left it says Philbin Mines.
So, do we stay and help these people, or do we go on to Amber Brook?
I think we need
Let's,
to go to the mines.
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, let's just go to town. I mean, we still don't have anything to barter with.
Okay.
Okay. You guys take the left road, you travel for another few hours, and then as you're cresting over a hill, you look down, and the terrain has changed a little bit. It's gotten darker because you're in a more rock-filled area. And down you see a mine entrance and some buildings out front of it. You don't see any people, but you assume that this is the mines that you're looking for. You approach, and one of the things that you notice is that there's no one around, and the buildings are empty.
Can we search the buildings?
Sure. It doesn't take long, but you're able to come up with a few odds and ends, a couple of writing utensils and sheets of paper. There's a lot of dusty records, like accounting files and that kind of stuff. But other than that, not much.
Is there a journal or anything like that?
Roll investigation.
Everybody, or?
Well, Euphemia is the one who's looking, so you're not able to find anything.
Of course.
So there's nobody
Yeah, let's
around
find a
at
knife.
all?
Roll another investigation check.
Me?
Yes. No, absolutely not.
Stop asking me to roll shit. It's not going to get anywhere.
Alright, I'm gonna look around and see if there's any evidence of what's happened.
Okay. One thing you do see.
Someone find me a knife.
One thing you do see is footprints, or at least evidence of traffic going into the mine. Yeah, it's fairly recent. You could tell it's within the last few days.
But there's no crates out here or anything?
Nope. I mean, there's broken ones and a lot of rotted wood. These buildings look like they haven't really been. There hasn't been people around for a while.
I think we were sent to our deaths.
Yep, that Sounds like our luck.
Do we have any torches?
You can, yeah, you can make some stuff up real quick. You can jerry rig some stuff together with a few
Okay.
branches.
I would suggest not going down into that place. You don't know what the hell's down there.
Well, all I got is a stick to fight with, so
Oh my. Well, we're saved.
that's what I'm saying. All I have is a stick to fight with, so I'm not keen on going down there either. But we'll either go back empty-handed or go investigate.
Well, no one in that village would ever go into that mine, honestly. We were here to pick up stuff, not empty a mine.
So you guys,
Honestly, what's the worst it's gonna?
I've already killed you once, right?
Well, we may learn of why these disappearances are happening.
What, the old man decides to send the people to the mine and they never come back? Oh yeah, we'll figure that out, but we won't ever come back.
Temple of Doom.
Well, I say we move forward and at least go a little ways in and see what we can find.
Yep, I'm gonna start walking in.
Well, first I'm gonna make some torches up because I'm need to be able to see.
Okay.
Can I do a good look around outside the perimeter of the cave, of the mines? Make sure that there's no signs of other activity.
Okay. And you're able to, being a ranger and having knowledge and tracking, you're able to discern pretty quickly that this place has been, for the most part, has not seen much activity recently. You do pick up, like I said, a couple set of footprints going into the mine within the last few days.
But not coming out?
Not coming out. You do
That's
catch
interesting.
a pair of really small, really odd-looking footprints going in and out over the last few days. It's not something you've seen before. Really small, really odd.
Doesn't look like, not like a kobold or anything like that.
It's much smaller than a kobold. You're familiar with those kinds of footprints. There's like 2 long toes out front and 1 long toe towards the back, and they're small.
That's creepy.
Do you think those might be demons?
I have no idea. I point that out to anyone else. Anyone else could recognize those tracks.
My mind is a thought. Like I don't know if I can remember or not.
It's not something you've seen before.
I guess
Also-
we gotta go find out.
While we're going through here, I'm just gonna keep casting guidance on people,
Okay?
just to keep that up for our first rolls.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Alright, so
stay, kind of in the middle of the party, but I'm gonna keep my eyes open since I can see farther than torchlight.
Okay.
do either of you guys know how to cast the light cantrip or not?
I didn't take that one.
Okay. Well, I light up a torch.
I did, but it's not gonna help us that much.
Well, if you did, you can just cast light on the rocks, and I can use it
I
when I
can
need
see
it.
farther than my
But we
torchlight
can't.
or my cantrip can.
But I can't.
But everyone else will see it if we start casting lights
No,
everywhere.
you cast light, put it on a rock. I put it in my pocket. If we get attacked, I can at least pull a rock out so I can see what we're fighting.
That sounds like a good,
Wait,
good
what?
idea. He wants you to cast.
You cast
Yeah.
light on a rock, and I put that light in my pocket. You can
No,
lead the
I
way,
can
but
create
if we get in a
fire.
fight,
So you would be putting
Oh.
a rock that's
That's what
burning
I
into your
said.
pocket,
do
and
you
you'd
know
burn
the
your
light
ass.
spell?
No, I can create fire. That's all I can do.
Okay, then I light my torch.
But I can create 3 or 4 of them, and I can cast them outwards.
Okay. Well, you've got a couple torches lit, or at least one torch lit, and you start heading down into the entrance of this cave, of this mine. And immediately you're seeing that the mine is in disrepair. The beams along the ceiling and the walls are a little bit rotted, and they look like they haven't been touched up in a while. But for the most part, you find a couple of places where the ceiling has collapsed, but it hasn't obstructed the mine shaft.
Yeah, he definitely sent us here to die. There was never any crates for us to get.
Yep, you're probably right.
You catch down at the end of the tunnel, a faint glow from the down the tunnelway.
Alright, I'm gonna snuff my
Can I
torch
see
for
what it
now.
is?
Okay? You can't. It's around the corner.
I'm gonna snuff out my torch and
Let's sneak up.
start moving stealth.
We should all start sneaking up that direction.
Alright, everyone roll stealth.
Good.
You can also add that plus D4 if you rolled bad, just FYI.
Yeah, so 12 total for me.
Yeah, as a party, that's all pretty good.
Wait, what?
It's okay, you guys passed it. You got a 20, Euphemia. Okay, so you all crouch down, and with your combat experience, you're able to move pretty quietly down this hallway. You proceed about 200 or 300 feet, and you find a narrow opening at the end of the hallway. There have been a couple of offshoots, like a left turn and a right turn, a left shaft and a right shaft, but you've kind of ignored those because the thing that you see, the faint glow, is straight ahead of you. So you walk up there and you find like a small, basically the size of a door, but it's about 5 feet tall, and about the width of a door. It's framed by wood, so you know it's stable, and the glow is coming from around the corner, past that door.
I'm gonna do a hand gesture to Euphemia to, I point at my eyes and then point towards that to get her to see what she can see.
Do I know what the hell he's doing?
Yes.
Okay. What the hell is he telling me to do? Because I don't.
He's telling you to poke your head around the corner and look.
Okay, I do that very slowly. It's only a little bit of my head, like one eye.
Okay. You look in, and you poke your head around the room, and the first thing that catches you is a smell. A really nasty smell. It smells like rotting flesh and like stuff decaying, and some other unnatural things that you don't recognize. But there are piles of rocks, like the ceiling of the cave. It's a larger room that you're looking into, but the ceiling of the cave has collapsed in certain areas. So there's piles of rubble on the right and on the left. Some of the cross beams that helped hold the ceiling up have fallen down to the ground. So there's some of these large pieces of jagged wood, these beams lying down on the ground around you. But you can't see anything else other than a large room with piles of rubble around.
What was making the glow?
It's coming from around the corner behind one of the piles of rubble. It's a
Is
faint.
there anywhere I can move?
It's a
so I
faint
can
purplish
get a better look at it?
glow. You'd have to go into the room. You have to step into the room a fair distance.
Okay, I go back and I make a gesture saying I can't see.
Alright. I'll lead the way in, I guess.
Okay. So let me just show you a little bit of a
Oh
layout.
my god, I'm giant.
Yeah, you are giant. There you go. Okay, so you guys are coming in. This is the small entranceway right here. And the cave the room that you're looking at is pretty large, like this. Like I said, there's piles of rubble that you can see around the room. The glow is coming from this direction. And there's stuff, like I said, debris and beams from the ceiling scattered around the floor.
Alright. Then I'll try to sneak up to this large piece of rubble and look around the edge of it.
How about the rest of you guys? You going in?
I'm gonna stay at the corner.
I want to check the floor first and make sure there's not like a pit trap or anything like that on the floor.
Okay, it's easy to see.
Before I move up.
It's just the ground, the rock and wooden ground of a mine.
Okay.
Okay, whoever's going in, go on in.
There. I'm trying to be stealthy. If I need to roll again, I'll roll.
Okay, you're being quiet. Deimos and Euphemia are staying outside.
Do you want me to roll?
No, you guys
Yeah,
all.
I'm staying right where I am.
You guys are still going off your stealth check from before.
Then I want to peek around, see what I see.
Okay. You look around and the smell to you is pretty overwhelming. What draws your attention is in the corner of the room a massive quivering blob of flesh. It's a full-on 15 feet wide and 10 or probably 10 or 15 feet tall. It almost reaches to the ceiling of the room. It's covered in pink and gray splotches, and all around this blob of flesh are various orifices, mouths, eyes, ears, and everything else you can think of, all scattered around as part of this blob of flesh. The whole pile shudders and shakes as if it were one organism. You can see multiple large cuts and bruises and gashes and wounds along its festering surface. There's boils and pus and all sorts of bodily fluids and blood seeping and oozing from it. The smell is pretty atrocious.
Okay.
Do,
So
do
We should
I,
run.
do I
we should
recognize
run.
this?
this is probably what happened to the townspeople, so I'm thinking this in my head, I'm not saying this out loud. I'm going to slowly move back and out of the room.
What are you saying, Ashok?
Would this be something that any of us would recognize, or through nature or something?
Not through nature. If you want to try to identify...
Have an arcane.
Yeah, roll me arcane, or arcana.
Never asked me to roll.
You guys don't know what this is. Yeah.
I know
Alright.
it's probably going to kill us. I'm going to leave.
You hear a voice, all of you, kind of ringing in your ears. Do not be so hasty. Come, let us talk.
Run. Definitely run.
Stop
No,
telling me what to
no
do.
talking.
One thing you did notice, Caern, is that, like I said, it's wounded, and it was shuddering and shaking, but it wasn't moving. It was pretty much cemented there in the corner.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess Deimos is gonna.
Yep, I'm going in.
Gotta back him up.
The smell is pretty overwhelming.
I'm gonna be safely back, but I'm gonna ask him what he wants to talk about.
Yeah, it's about right here in this corner. It's this big gibbering blob right there. He says, "For so long have I been here. A bit of intelligent conversation would be welcome."
Okay.
What are you?
What am I? I am many things. The eternal hunger. The ebon maw. That's my name proper. Turagalas. The devourer.
Have I ever heard of it, like in history?
Go ahead and roll the history. This is a pretty easy check. Unfortunately, no.
Not when you tell me to fucking roll.
My goodness. He turns to you all and says, "Okay, Caern. Actually, this makes sense. You being a blood hunter. You've heard tell of the devourer. Some of the darker cults that you've hunted worshipped this demon. He's a demon lord from the 77th level of the Abyss. I have been here, fallen, broken. Asmodeus. He cast me here after I had fallen in battle with those gods, those deities. Left me for dead. Asmodeus. 2 years have I been here, festering, wasting away.
Ah. So you were there at the breaking.
Yes. Yes.
And did you eat those villagers?
Humans. Yes.
So what kind of deal have you made with this leader of the lumbering village?
I must feed. I must recover my strength to destroy Asmodeus. That old man, he found me. I consumed the young one, and for his life he begged. He begged me for his life. He sends food. He sends souls for me to live. My strength, I regain it slowly, but it is returning.
I see. As we're talking to him, what's above him?
Rock ceiling?
Pretty intact.
Over where he is, yes. You guys have anything else to ask him?
I'm gonna ask him what he
I make
wants from us.
gestures that we should actually be leaving because we don't know what he's capable of.
So you want revenge on Asmodeus?
Asmodeus.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure. Roll it. It's hard to get a read from a quivering pile of flesh. Yeah. Okay. Deimos, actually, this makes sense. Your history and your connection with the divine. What he's saying is plausible, and you are familiar now that he's explained who he was. You are familiar with the demon lord Taragalas, and you know that it makes sense that he would have been present at that battle.
Okay. Well, I'm going to ask him what he wants from us, besides just talking.
From you. Just one thing. Your souls, and then your flesh.
Well, funny thing about that is we're like dead, and we might be zombies, so I don't know if we have souls. And this isn't my flesh, so I mean, we're both just shit out of luck.
With that, there's a burst of energy behind you, Euphemia, as you feel yourself propelled into the cave. As you're flying in, you see a glimpse of a small green creature behind you. Kind of right there. Can you guys see that token?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. It's not loading for me or something because it looks.
Yeah,
really
it's low resolution.
fuzzy.
Sorry.
Okay.
You feel a burst of energy behind you as you go are flung inside the cave, and then you see a stone wall fly up in front of you and block off this entrance here.
Told you we should have fucking ran. Why didn't we listen?
Now I feed.
Okay, guys, this is how this is going to work. I'm setting a timer on my phone. You're seeing this energy, this purplish glow from this creature is starting to flare up and pulse. I'm setting a 60-second timer on my phone. You have 60 seconds to figure out something to do, starting right now.
Try to push open the gate, the blocked doorway.
Purple energy.
I'm gonna throw my ice dagger at it.
Okay. The doorway is solid. It's stiff. It's not giving right now.
Let's get some fire on this thing. Radiant energy. Anybody have any kind of divine energy?
I do.
Using
I
a
have
set?
I have radiant energy. I'll cast that on you.
Okay.
Can I ask my ice dagger on him?
Go ahead. Roll
Is that
attacks.
good?
If you're gonna do it, just start rolling attacks. You guys have 30 seconds. Yep. Roll damage. Okay, so he's taking 6 damage. You can see piles of flesh and stuff start to fly up into the air. Okay. A little bit more damage.
I mean, are you guys attacking that door, or what are we doing?
You're attacking the beast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're seeing mounds of flesh start to fly off of him, but it's all superficial. It's on his skin level, surface level. It's not really penetrating deeply inside him.
Okay, that's not doing.
The wave of purple light flares up, and there's a sharp crackle in the air, and Chef, the light reaches out to you, hits you in the chest, and you can feel your very essence being ripped from your body. It pours out of you back towards the being, and basically he's pulling your soul out from your body and ripping it towards him.
You said there's a big jagged piece of wood?
Yep.
Like a big beam?
Chef, you are unconscious on the ground, and yes, Caern, you are correct. Your soul goes plummeting into the center of his body, and Chef, you're unconscious on the ground.
Let's all grab this big, huge, sharp beam and plunge it all the way through it. And I'll imbue it with ice.
He starts to shudder again as the light starts to pulse again. You guys have 60 seconds.
Alright, let's all pick up this beam and jam it through him so we can get through the mass into the actual creature itself.
There's a
Okay.
beam right here.
Okay.
You guys pile around the beam. I need strength checks. I need 40 strength worth of checks to be able to lift this thing up.
You guys still have those +4s.
Okay, so athletics or strength?
Strength, pure strength. Ooh, so that's... Okay, I'm seeing 35. Ashok, I need, Caern. Okay, that's 40. That's 40, pick it up.
Alright, we pick it up.
All right.
Imbue it with ice from my Crimson Right.
Okay.
I'm holding it, and we jam it through the whole mass.
Okay, you charge and run into him.
I'm just gonna say technically too, since he's holding it, Caern, he has radiant damage on him if that helps.
Okay. Okay. He shudders with pain and quivers as the rod pierces deep into his flesh. Blood pours out from the huge gashing wound that you made in him. You guys, he's taken a lot of damage, but he's not done yet. You guys just bought yourself 30 seconds.
Back it out and do it again.
Alright.
Okay. I need another round of strength checks.
We get the +4.
Yeah. Okay. Since you're already carrying it, I'll let you do it. Go ahead and run into him. Quickly,
Okay.
quickly. 5, 4,
We
3,
ran into him. Bam.
2. Okay.
Okay, we're running into him.
Okay. The shard plunges in deep again, and as it's going in, he unleashes that purple blast, and you feel. Let's see. As you're plunging the huge plank or the huge beam into it, Ashok, you feel your soul being ripped out from your body and sucked into the heart of this huge quivering beast. But there's more blood, there's more bile and green ooze flying everywhere. You guys are soaked in it now. It's sputtering, it's spurting, and then it goes quiet and still. Ashok and Deimos, you guys are unconscious, collapsed on the ground.
Alright, so my soul's inside of him?
Yes.
Can I beat the shit out of him from the inside?
It's your soul.
Well, isn't that what the demons, they kind of use their soul energy to do stuff? So I'm inside his soul, I can just start punching his soul from the inside.
Do the
Is
Neo
there
thing.
any glow left
Burst out
inside
of
of him?
No. The glow is faded. It's sucked in. All you see is spurting, bubbling blood and gore.
Well, I'm gonna go over to Deimos, and I'm gonna grab my symbol
Okay.
and ask for Elistraee to come and bring our friend's souls back from this thing.
You hold onto your silver amulet. You whisper her name. And the silver amulet starts to flare with blinding white light. And before you, in a flash of brilliance, stands this beautiful goddess. She looks around you, she looks at you and says... She looks at you, Euphemia, and says, "Child, I see. Ah, the hunger. Yes. Stand back, everyone." Her bastard sword is flickering through the air. It coalesces in her hand in another blaze of silver white light. She charges and is a blur as she attacks the beast, and with a swing of her sword, the whole thing splits in half. It divides and ooze gushes out, and with the ring of her sword, which is melodic, you hear this tune in the air. Your souls spring free, and She gathers it to herself, and with a gesture, places them back into your bodies. Deimos and Ashok, you both stand up. She says, "Not a moment too soon. Much longer and I would not have been able to retrieve you. Well done, Sir Caern. Now, I go."
Thank you for your help, Elistraee.
And with that, she vanishes in a flicker. Your amulet, Caern, it loses the silver glow that was around it, but it's still on around your neck.
It was worth it.
We just got to recharge it somehow.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Try to open that damn door.
I'm gonna search around this body and see if there's anything left over that's usable. Because we're basically...
Same, I'll go look too.
Okay. Looking around the room, you see, now that you have some more time, you see basically piles of bones that were around the body. You assume it was from the villagers and the miners that were here. Everything that they wore and everything they had it's all like digested. So even if there are items, they crumble and they're brittle to the touch. Okay, I need you guys to roll me investigation. All of you, or everyone who's searching.
Okay.
Caern. Oh,
Yay,
Deimos.
for the one.
Deimos. Okay. Deimos.
Oh, I got D4 too.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18.
Nice. Deimos, as you're looking around, you see in the flesh, kind of center to where the center of his body was, embedded in the flesh, a large, irregular shaped brown stone. It's actually sunk into the flesh. It doesn't look like anything else on his body.
Damn it. Alright. I'm grabbing it. Does
Okay.
it look dangerous?
It looks like a brown rock.
Well, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
I could always use Mage Hand if you want.
With my radiant imbued hands, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay. You grab onto it. The glow of your energy pops it free. It kind of like, and as you pull it out, like a little splurt of pus and blood comes after it, almost like a zit was popped. But here in your hand, it's covered in goop, but is this item here. 1 second. You guys should be able to see it in the party sheet under the inventory, the loot tab.
Yep. Brown piece of jasper.
Okay.
Is that all we find?
Here, yes.
Okay.
What do we even use Jasper for? Actually, just wondering. I've never actually seen it in one of these
It
games.
hasn't been identified yet either.
Sell it.
Oh, okay. So now, since demons can take our souls, can I start taking demon souls and just gain more power that way?
No, it doesn't quite work that way.
Some BS. What if I start with like
Alright.
baby demons, like imps and stuff like that, then work my way up?
I'm gonna go find the secret latch that opens this doorway and open it.
If you had a god that gave you that kind of power, then maybe we could talk.
I don't have a god yet, apparently.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Well, remember, I can identify an item if you need me to look at that stone. If it does something else, other than being worth something. So
Yeah, you could cast identify on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it out to her so she can identify it.
You're gonna try to. Okay. So Euphemia, are you casting it as a spell or as a ritual?
ritual.
Okay, ritual takes 10 minutes. You guys want to hunker down for 10 minutes?
Yeah, are we going
I
anywhere?
think they were going to go look for how to open the door.
Yeah, I'll be trying to figure out how to open the door while she does the ritual.
As the men look to open the door, I'll cast that ritual.
Okay. The door looks different now. It looks different from when the demon was alive. Now it's almost transparent, or a little bit. A little bit of light is going through it, is able to pass through it. And you see on the other side this small. It's not an imp. It's actually a quasit. If that matters to you.
Yeah, I play warlocks. I know what they are.
I don't
Yeah,
know that.
a small quasit. He's a little fiend. There, holding onto the door, like concentrating as if he's generating this doorway. But like I said, the demon, the door looks different now than it did before.
Can I try to just swing through it?
Can
and
I
smack
cast a
it?
spell through that door?
Oh yeah.
Who wants to do what?
Well, I'm still
Well, you're
holding
doing
on
the
to
I was just wondering if I
stone
could
while
do
she's
chill touch
identifying it.
through the door and onto the deep.
Okay, are you okay? You have to come around. So you're not identifying right now. You want to come around and cast a spell through the door.
Yeah. I'll do.
Okay. Roll an attack. Chilling touch, DC 12. Yeah. Your blast of energy flies straight through the doorway, smacks the little quasit, and he flies back, and the door disappears.
Okay, and I'm gonna run up and smack him in the face.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative,
Okay.
and you'll get your action first, Caern.
All right.
Okay, so Caern, you get one action first, and then we'll go to the top of the initiative.
All right. Man, I'm on for shit.
Okay, Ashok, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna hit him in the face.
Okay.
Oh, I got a target. Or not.
He's like a really wily little thing. He's kind of bouncing around and is dodging your guys' club attacks. Okay. Euphemia? You see them all trying to pile onto this little nimble quasit. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna grab, or my grip is gonna tighten.
Yeah, you reach out your hands and go ahead and describe how you do that.
The skeleton hand basically just squeezes the neck until it pops.
Alright? Your necrotic energy grasps it and squeezes the life out of it. It shudders a little bit, and then it falls over, and the grip of your hand is so strong that it actually breaks its head and it rolls off. Oh, I know what I could do. There.
What?
Yep. Big boy splatter.
Okay. Very good. You guys have killed the demon lord Turagalas, who was greatly injured in the battle with the gods, and was trying to regather his strength here in the mines in this small country that you find yourselves in. You killed his quasit Skeeks, who was helping him and was helping lure travelers and other people into this cave.
And save the lock in town.
So if we kill the god, does that mean we got enough experience to like level 10 times?
Well, we'll find out. What do you guys want to do?
Identify his rock,
Did we figure out what
and then
this
we're
thing
gonna
was
go back to
that I'm holding?
the. Yeah.
Let's get out of this mind, and then we can rest, and I'll identify this soon.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work.
You guys start heading out of the room. Again, the smell, it's like clinging to you a little bit, but you hope it'll wash out. Again, there were some side
I do
passageways.
prestidigitation to get.
Okay, yeah, so yours is clean.
I do it on everyone because they're all starting to offend.
Okay, alright. In a few waves of magic, the scent is cleaned out of your clothing. You leave it well behind you. There's a couple of side passageways on the way out. Do you guys want to do anything with that?
Yeah, I want to look around a little bit just to see if there's a pickaxe or
Okay, roll
any
investigation.
Okay. That works well for me rolling, so I'll do that.
Anyone else want to look around?
Yeah.
I'll do a roll for like a bow or something or a knife.
Okay.
A D4 to our rolls.
Okay.
So,
Alright, so you guys find, and down one corridor, you find
got a
some...
20.
Yes, you find some miner's tools. They include... Let me pull up my thing here. So I'm going to rename some of these items a little bit, but they're basically the equivalent of like some simple melee weapons. You can find a hammer. You find a sickle, which we'll call a pickaxe. And you find a really large piece of metal, like a pry bar or something, but we can call it a great club.
I want that.
I'll take the sickle.
Okay?
I'll take the hammer.
Unless someone else needs it. Doesn't matter.
I'll take whatever.
Okay, I'll give you something as well. I'll give you 2 light hammers, Ashok, because you found a couple of them. And there you go, Deimos. Okay. Alright, yeah, we're just about done. Down one corridor, you find a little nest. A little nest. It looks like, and you see the small footmarks in and out of there. This is obviously where the Quasar had been making his home. And underneath a pile of straw, you find the stuff that he'd been taking from all the adventurers the whole time. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rolling on the treasure hoard loot table for you guys. Oops. Hold on, let me fix that.
That's a lot of dice.
There you go. Okay, go ahead and look in the party sheet. In the loot sheet, and this is what you got.
So there's 3 unidentified items.
I guess I'll take the unidentified item droid then.
Okay, you spend some time casting Identify on those, and on the gem that you got from Deimos. So Deimos, on this piece of jasper, the piece of jasper that you found, it's very rare. It's imbued with a chaotic, dark energy. Once per day, basically once every 24 hours, you can touch the gem, and you can say the word pandemonium, and a random effect will happen to you.
Well, that sounds fancy.
Yeah. The rest of this is these gems that you find here are they're sellable. There's a couple spell scrolls and a potion of healing. And some 50 gold and some silver and copper. So who wants what?
Do you guys mind if I take the scrolls, unless you want them?
Nah, all I want.
Yeah. Does anybody have a spell book?
No, that's wizards
Not
pretty
really.
much. So these will be one-time
Okay.
uses for you guys.
I'll take the gold and the silver and copper if no one wants that.
Well,
Yeah, I
we'll
don't
split
really
that
care who gets the
equally.
money. For
Yeah,
some odd reason, I
that
think
gets
there'd be
split up
someone
equally.
sharing it.
Yeah, make sure under your
Yeah,
inventory.
but they're getting everything. There's nothing there for me.
Here, I'll
But
give
someone else can have that gem. I don't want anything. I don't want some random gem thing. I don't want.
you don't want the gems?
Just
no
sell
way.
them.
You can
I
sell
thought
the
it was
gems.
sellable gems.
Yeah, okay. I'll give Euphemia
Okay.
the sellable gems.
I meant the magic one. I don't want that.
Who wants the potion?
It doesn't really matter who gets it.
You should probably take it since you're more of a melee guy, just in case.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering, are you going to do potions as actions or bonus actions?
Actions for a potion, this seems a bit extreme, but we'll see. I'm not sure how the balance will work out yet. So I don't know.
Yeah, I've always preferred like bonus action because it kind of seemed weird that it takes a whole action to drink a potion.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I think we'll call it right here. You guys have cleared out this mine. You know obviously that the old man kind of framed you to come here, trying to get rid of you. So that
Yep.
might be something you deal with. The town of Amberbrook is a couple days' journey from here. You've got some goals. You've got some items. Deimos, you have this gem of chaos that will be interesting to play with.
Yep.
I think this is a good spot to call it.
Sweet, thank you. Yeah, sorry I had to leave a little early. The
Oh, that's
planes
fine.
Get boarding like 30 minutes earlier than I thought.
We're gonna dish out some XP for tonight.
Oh
or
yeah,
not?
yeah. XP. Here we go.
Is there any chance that we could just do like a group leveling thing? Like you just tell us all what level we are?
I mean, we did just get the killing blow on like an archdemon, so we should be like level 20 now, right?
All
Let's
we need
see.
is 300 XP to level 2, so...
I think the god is the one that killed it.
No. We got
Well,
it.
and also I used up my only one-time thing to bring two of you guys back to life. You're welcome, by the way.
Yep, thank you kindly.
So yes, we are level 2.
You guys level up. You guys have 426 XP each. That's enough to get you to level 2.
Nice.
900 is level 3.
Yep. Okay.
Alright, sweet.
Alright, thank you guys for playing. Have a good night. If you have any questions, hit me up over PM. And I'll start working on next week's adventure.
That's
Awesome.
it.
Thank
Oh,
you
I
guys
think
so much.
I think when we get back to town, what we should do is that guy thinks we're dead. We should kidnap him and take him out in the woods.
I say
Scare
we
the
go
shit out
to
of him.
Amberbrook
Oh, yeah, definitely.
first.
I think we gotta do something to him.
No, we're going back to that place before we go to Amberbrook, because...
Well, we have gold to buy equipment now, so I think we should go
Yeah.
buy equipment, then go back and kick some ass.
I mean...
Yep, I mean, they wouldn't expect it.
Are we doing, from now on, just what the average on XP? I mean, on 8 hit points.
For you guys? I
Yeah.
mean, you can roll for it if you want.
Well, I didn't know. Some people do the first 3 levels, you get max XP, max hit points, then they get average.
Disconnected from your
It
channel.
all depends.
We'll go with
Okay.
averages. Like I said, you'll be doing quests later if you want individual stats. But go with the averages. Okay?
Okay.
Alright. Thanks, guys. Good playing.
Yay. That was
Good.
fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. You you did exactly what you need to do, using your amulet to summon them up, because they weren't getting back any other way.
How did you know that that's what the amulet did? Because I didn't know about that.
Well, he said that at the beginning that if we ever needed her, we had one-time use to call on her in a dire situation.
Okay.
Yeah, basically he gave us an amulet of wish.
Well, I don't know if it's as strong as Wish, but at
The
least it
goddess
brought
that
them
comes
back.
down and does whatever you want to help.
Whatever she can
That's,
do.
level 9.
Yeah, whatever she can.
Alright, well, I gotta go, so thanks for the game.
Good night, man. Have a good night.
Good night.
User disconnected from
Yeah,
your
thanks for
channel.
the game. I'm going to head
Uh,
to sleep myself.
Good night, Euphemia.
Can I ask you a
Night,
question? Since I originally was gonna go dual wield with this guy, I
Mhm.
took a dual wielder feat.
Okay.
But if I'm going to most likely be using two-handed weapons, can I change my feat to Great Weapon Master?
Yeah, are you gonna dual wield eventually? Because I'll let you change once, but not every time.
No, I'm gonna go the two-handed weapon route because my level 20 character had the that two-handed greatsword.
Yeah.
And I think it would work out better with the melee style that I'm going with.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take the fighting style that I just got from second level, and I'll delete the wielder and put in.
Yeah, if you want. I mean, I had
Oh, that's right. We had talked about the sword and the silver sword deal.
I had these made up for you for someday if you ever wanted to. Oops, not the kinetic, the great sword. But I had
User disconnected from your channel.
some stuff designed for you if you ever wanted to dual wield. But if you want to go great sword, that's fine. But I can, in the course of your adventures, if you want to dual wield, we'll find you some sweet items for dual wielding.
Nah, yeah, I'll stick with dual wielder for now.
Alright.
But just the only weapon I have right now is a two-handed weapon, I think.
Yeah.
But I'll get something. I'll get some long swords eventually or something. I'll be able to buy some next couple missions.
Yeah.
Or next couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once you get to town specifically, you'll be able to buy weapons. If you go back to the mill, and you take on those guys, you might be able to find something.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to dual wield, like for your character flavor, I'd stick with that because I have items to give you
Okay.
in the long run.
Yeah, I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do, was be a dual wielder. So
Yeah.
that'll work.
Yeah, I definitely like the Witcher thing with this one silver sword and
Yeah.
one steel sword.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool.
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. Hey, have a good night.
You too. I enjoyed it.
Good. Glad you did. See you next week.
See ya.